I'm Rezlar.
I'm Frosty.
As nobody's really engaged quite yet.
Yep. Oh, there we have a bit of. Oh, was that a triple stun for the Mystic?
And welcome back to the Value Pack. And welcome everybody to another episode of the Value Pack. You know what? I'm not gonna jinx it. Like I said last week, there's a bit of a jinx whenever I say it's probably not gonna be a long episode. So instead, what I'm gonna say is I don't think we have that much to talk about. We're gonna talk about Hashashin. We're gonna talk about the Crow's Nest a little tiny bit. And we're going to talk about the ban wave, which is actually the first thing we're going to touch on. But first, I got to point out, Nyashi, unfortunately, is not joining us today. He got weighed down with some work. And, IRL always comes first, that sort of thing. So he's got work today. Wish him the best with that. I think he said he has a meeting, I think right now, actually. I think he's in a meeting right now. So have fun, Nyashi. We shall carry on the Meiwa hate, even if you are not here. Also, I want to give a special thanks to our heroes on Patreon, our $10 supporters on Patreon. Auscultation, Minaria, Jeremy Johnson, My PPHs, Lord Carrot, Mayo Knight, Talus X Septum, Sinvala, Icarian Justicar, I Has Issues, and Hawaiian. Thank you guys so much for your support on Patreon. We really appreciate it very much. Now, let's get into Bandwave first, right? That's what we wanted to do? Bandwave first?
Yeah, I do want to point out, Ackerman says, imagine working during a pandemic. KW.
I think he works from home.
Yeah, I think
I'm pretty sure he works from home. I don't think he ever stopped working from the pandemic. He just worked from home.
Yeah, I don't know if he's ever told us exactly what he does. But I imagine he develops the software for defibrillators, if they have software. But I'm not 100% sure on that. That's just what I feel like he does.
I think he does, because he's talked about it a little bit before. I think he does something with, like the inventory of medical supplies or something like that. Like he works with, programs that keep track of all that kind of stuff. Yeah, he's mentioned something about that before. I don't know exactly what it is. We could probably ask him next week if he comes back on. So
he basically does clerical work, except he's sorting blood by blood type in files, but they're like freezer files.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah, those blood packs, by the way, will feed the future human race when we all become vampires. So we're all gonna be going to Nyashi.
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait, we're becoming vampires. When did we decide this?
Well, vampires are immune to COVID.
I mean, so are zombies.
See, I don't know that that's true. I think they're actually susceptible to cough and sneeze and stuff like that.
Also, I bet you know what? I wonder if werewolves are immune to COVID. You know, maybe they got like a stronger immune system or something. I don't know.
They are, but they're not immune to rabies or fleas, and that's our problem. That's why we didn't jump on that earlier. Yeah. Yeah, alright, Bandwave. Dude, what happened here? What's going on, Rosa? What's happening with our community that this many people are cheating? That
I don't know.
Now once a month for like 3 months, we get a bandwave of like, I don't know, between 30 and 300 people. Okay.
I'm not sure, but I'm down for it. Keep banning.
All right, so this one is interesting to me for a couple reasons. So the breakdown is 9 fish botters gone. Also, who's still fish botting? It's embarrassing. 86 speed hackers gone / bots. 216 RMT permanently banned. So this is the thing that I think a lot of people missed is 216 of these people were permanently banned and 132 were suspended. So I'm going to just read this as they say it. Greetings, adventurers. In continuation of our ongoing efforts to clear Black Desert Online from players using third-party tools to gain an unfair advantage, we permanently banned 311 accounts from Black Desert Online today with the following breakdown: 9 fish bots, 86 speed hacks / bots, and 216 RMT. And then they say, additionally, we have issued a temporary suspension for 132 accounts for RMT. In parentheses, they put real money trading. And then this time they actually say, which includes both silver buying and piloting services. And then it says, from these accounts, a total of 1.093 trillion silver has been removed from the economy. That's not including however much silver was in the economy because of the 216 accounts that were banned permanently. That's not counting those. And then they go on to say this. So they got some, they're cracking down, Rez. They say, we listened to your feedback that the punishments needed to be harsher. As a result, have been revising our suspension policy on these. However, we maintain that as the problem was left unchecked for so long, coming down with an iron fist would not have been the correct response for a first action. That said, today's ban wave includes a large amount of permanently banned accounts for RMT, and this is the direction we will be moving into the future. The warning shots have been fired now, and we've demonstrated that we can identify RMT and piloting far more effectively than before. Following this action, future violations surrounding this will be dealt with much more harshly. No more warnings, with an exclamation point. So, yeah. Piloting is more dangerous than ever if being banned is dangerous to you. And
I'm
yeah.
pretty pog, honestly.
Yeah, it's kind of, I'm a little bit surprised because I think last time this happened, and it was like whatever, 1 trillion silver or 500 billion silver or whatever the hell they removed last time, but it was like, what, 38 people that were suspended for 3 days?
Yeah.
This is a massive, massive leap from that. That was only like a month ago too, maybe 2 months now. So I don't know, kind of crazy. I'm a little bit surprised so many people got hit, especially because I don't think it was retroactive. Like I'm pretty sure it was from that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe.
I imagine if you piloted regularly and you didn't get banned in that last wave, you just assumed your banning service was keeping you safe, or your piloting service was keeping you safe. And then this time it was like, oh wait, whoops. Guess not. I don't know. Like, I think this will at least deter people from doing it, because that's a lot more people that got banned.
Yeah, I don't say this very often, so allow me to commemorate this moment.
Oh shit! Hold on, wait.
clip
Let me
this
make
moment.
sure it's recording.
Okay,
it
go ahead.
is. It's still recording. Go ahead.
Good job, Pearlbis / Cacao. You're finally realizing what people give a shit about, at least in regard to this, and you're doing something about it. So good job. I don't say that very often. So you hold on to that. You take this clip and you take the URL, right? And then you frame it, you put it on a wall. That's what I expect to happen at both of those offices. Because this doesn't happen very often, but good job. You're doing good. I do agree that the idea that like perma-banning right out the gate, considering how long nobody gave a fuck about it, would have been a bit of a harsh thing to do. So I do agree with that. Yeah, good for them. That's all I gotta say.
I hope they play that at their like board meeting. They just like are like, and now, ladies and gentlemen, Reslar, and like just the projector screen just descends, the lights turn off. They hear you say it, and then everyone just starts clapping. We fucking did it! They're crying in there. I always knew we could.
I'm trying to find. Hold on.
I was hoping you said that Cacao and Pearl Abyss finally have realized that cheating is wrong. Dude. I don't know, man. The piloting is I mean, the speed hackers are obviously horrendous.
Here we go. So the temp bans, by the way, it might be variable. I don't know. It might be variable, but someone in the Bloodthirst Discord linked a picture of someone who had gotten suspended, and they got suspended for 30 days. Now, again, that
Yeah.
might be variable. I don't know, but I would assume that that's a constant. It might be variable
it's
again,
definitely
but
it's definitely varies. There's some people that got 3 days and some people got 30.
I'm assuming that's based on the amount, I guess, right? If it would be variable.
I guess. Yeah, if they're new to it or something, I don't know.
So this person got a 30 days suspension, and they got 143 billion silver taken out of their account.
Yeah. The other thing that's crazy people don't even realize is a lot of these pilots are using speed hacks and bots to get the money during the time that you're asleep or at work. So there's actually some RMTs every time this happens in the other /speed hack section that got banned, which is unfortunate. Actually, I have a friend that sold his account, and then whoever bought it was using a piloting service, and the pilot was speed hacking, so it got banned. Like a while back, not in this way, but a while back, which I just think is funny.
I mean, not to get too off topic, because this is just kind of more of a general topic, but I have never understood, and I will never understand the idea behind cheating. Like, it's just weird to me. It's a weird thing to do that I just can't. As someone who's played video games since I was like fucking 5 years old, it's such a strange concept to me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get it. To me, it's like there's no satisfaction. There's no glory. There's no feeling of accomplishment. Like, I've never understood it. I didn't understand it when I was a fucking like a middle schooler playing Call of Duty. I don't understand it now that I'm in college playing Black Desert Online. Cheating is such a strange thing to me that I will just never fucking understand.
What about, you know what the problem is that we all grew up, or at least like maybe not, maybe I'm a little bit older than you, so maybe not your generation, but my generation grew up with Tips and Tricks magazine, where like on page 14 were the cheat codes for all the games. So we're just used to it, dude. So for us, speed hacking is I didn't think it was that bad. I figured everyone was doing it. That's my bad, dude. I misread that.
I don't
No,
know.
I don't get it either. Especially in an MMO, you work so fucking hard for your shit, or it's like the amount of time, or people that buy their costumes and wait and stuff, and like, I don't know. It just seems like such a huge fucking waste.
I guess with like RMT, I guess I can understand RMT more than like something like speed hacking, right? Because speed hacking is like there's no point to it, right? But like at least RMT, I feel like the people that usually RMT are people that like either don't have the time or don't have the energy to like grind as much as they want, and that's why they turn to piloting services, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess in a way I can understand that a little bit, at least more than speed hacking.
You don't.
But like, I don't know, like going back to like the Call of Duty days when people were using like aimbots and stuff, like that shit always confused me because I'm like, you don't like, and people still do it today, and it's like you're not even playing the game though. Like it's so strange to me. I don't understand it. You're not even really playing the game if you're like speed hacking or if you're playing a shooter and using an aimbot and shit like that. Like it's just so strange to me. I don't understand it.
I don't get it either. I do have a I think this is it. I'm showing a clip on stream of a 6'6" speed hacker Zerker named Pona no K N64 or something. 264. Dude, he was funny because I ran into him at Star's End on side rotation. And we killed him because his character was just like stuck. And I couldn't get near him. I kept dying, and then eventually I got like I think me and someone else dove in at once, and one of us got a grab off, and we killed him. Dude, he literally like instant kills you. But he came back and he goes, "Why are you wasting your time? You're just gonna keep dying over and over. It's useless." And then I was like, "Why? Why are you hacking if you know you're gonna get banned?" And then he got philosophical on me. He goes, "Why are you living if you know you're gonna die?" And I said, "Well, hold on." I was like, "No, this is different." I'm like, "Why are you?" That it would be more like, "Why are you living if you know you're going to die tomorrow?" Like, I know
Yeah.
I'm going to be alive for 30, 40 years. Like, we all know.
No, it would be more like if you were jumping off of a fucking bridge that's like 200 feet in the air, right? And then you were like, "Oh, well, why are you living if you're gonna die?" And then you jump off the bridge. Like, yeah, you're cutting your life a bit short there, eh, bud? Like,
Yeah. Yeah. No, Lalu, this was, I mean, you say last week, but the bandwave is on Wednesday, so he might have been. I don't know. Who knows? Dude, this guy like blatantly hacks. This guy. It was funny because Stratified was like also fighting this guy at the node. Here, we killed him right here. We got him in a grab on this hill. Get fucked. um, he killed us so
imagine
many times, dude.
speed hacking and still losing a fight.
Well, I don't know if we could say he was losing. He killed us all at least 15 times, and we killed him twice. So.
No, losing a fight. If you're speed hacking and you die even once, like that's really bad.
Well, in fairness, it's not like. Here's what I thought was weird: is that his character is speed hacking and doing this bot rotation that's just like automatic, and he's at his computer watching it and typing. It's like it's the weirdest fucking thing to me. I don't know.
He just like he likes watching streams, dude. But he doesn't like any of the streamers, so he just thought I'll stream myself to myself.
He should actually just stream while speed hacking.
Pretty sure he'd get banned. I think cheating is in the TOS of Twitch. You can't do that.
Dude, Twitch wouldn't know. It looks like normal Zerker play. Yeah, so I don't know. If you got banned, I mean, there's a weird like. It's funny because whenever there's someone that knows someone that gets banned, they're like they feel all bad and like, no, it's fucked up. Like the dude only did it like twice, and it's just like, nah, man. Like at this point, if you don't know, dude, like I don't feel bad at all.
Yeah, I
All.
think post initial like ban wave, where they were like we're banning RMT like users, we're banning people that use pilots. Your time is up, sort of thing. Like if you still did it post that, I have no sympathy, because it's like that should have been all you needed for like you to be like, oh, okay, they're cracking down on this. I shouldn't do this anymore.
Yeah, I heard someone say like, oh, X player got temp banned. It's not permanent, but it's really killing their will to play. They're thinking like it's kind of fucked up that they got banned and they're probably not going to play anymore. So it's a loss for Cacao. And I'm like, LOL. No. No. Fuck that person. Yeah. I had someone, you know what's so funny is like I've known two people in two different communities that were hacking, and both of them, the day they got caught and like people in the community that they were in knew, they like never showed their face again. They like disappeared off the face of the planet. So just keep that in mind. If you get caught hacking, you're also going to lose your friends. Potentially.
Oh, dude, somebody, who was it? I think it was Moon, linked a picture the other day. Ah, shit. Hold on. From user, Moon. I gotta link you this picture, because this shit's fucking... Copy link. Check that out, dude. Is that not a blast from the fucking past?
Let me see. Can I open this up on stream?
Yeah.
Oh shit, dude! My elixir group.
Your elixir, dude. Elixir groups like what was this? This must have been like maybe a month after like the merge of
Yeah.
a bloodline into Hex. Maybe a couple months.
Yeah.
He just linked this out of nowhere in Bloodthirst Discord. I was like, holy shit, dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, it is kind of nuts, dude. The other thing that's crazy about this is my elixir group is bullshit, and none of them popped elixirs.
I don't think anyone
I have
popped elixirs.
Stork in there, dude. I have fucking Dreamer. You know that motherfucker doesn't pop elixirs for anybody.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think anybody used any elixirs once. I know my party didn't. Like, I don't know. Maybe party 2 did. I feel like I could see party 2 do a rotation.
Dude, look at that flex group, dude. The flex group is huge.
Yeah, remember that was a huge issue we had is we had so many flex classes.
Yeah. Dude, it's fucking crazy. Oh, the good old days. That is a fat flex.
Yeah.
Dude, it was huge.
Back when the game was good, XD.
Mm-hmm. Until they ruined it with all the other stuff they added that made it easier to play. Alright, so my final question to you on this, Rez, is if, let's just say you got banned for hacking. Are we still doing the podcast? It wouldn't be weird, would it?
I mean, I have several questions. First of all, I haven't hacked, so this would be a wrongful ban. So,
I mean, how else do you explain you getting all the way to the 269 AP bracket with Nuver?
what?
Dude, would you admit at least you're a gear carried archer then, whether you hacked or not?
No, I'm not gear carried. I'm full bloom carried.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm just wondering, like, maybe we'd probably have to do the podcast bi-weekly if you got caught hacking, just to keep you, like, just to lay low for a while. We'd probably skip next week. But people have a short memory here, so they'll forget. It'll be fine.
That was bad, dude.
Anyway, yeah, don't hack. Thank you, Cacao, for banning some people. Finally.
Yeah, and really don't hack now. Though they have issued a warning. They are gonna start permabanning. No more suspensions, it seems like, after this.
Do you believe them that they found a way that it's like easier to track when someone's piloting? You buy into that?
I really don't think I don't think that they found an easier way. I think that they just started doing it. They just started giving a fuck.
Well, why do you think then that the last one was like 38 people and this one's 200? Or actually 300 if you add up both the numbers, the temp and the perma. Because that's a pretty big gap.
The first time they did it, they didn't think that people would care that much, and then people cared a lot, and so they're like, oh shit, we should put more resources into this. Like, not to be pessimistic. I know I praised Cacao/Perlibus earlier, but I mean, I can almost guarantee you that they don't really give a fuck about like speed hacking or piloting services. They literally are just doing it because the player base wants them to, which is fine. But my point of bringing that up is that the first time they did it, they were like, all right, we'll put a couple people on it, they'll ban some people, and then we'll judge reactions. And then whenever people like praise them and we're like, hey, thank God they're finally banning people, they were like, all right, people really want this. We're gonna put more people on this. We're gonna put more resources into this. We're gonna try and like clean up the game, basically.
Right.
Which, I mean, again, is a good thing. Like, even if it's like a good thing for the wrong reasons, is still a good thing. Like, if you want to look at it that way, like, it doesn't matter if the reason they're doing it is just for like PR or whatever. Like, at the end of the day, they're still banning like hackers and piloters and stuff like that, which is good. So.
Yeah. All right. Moving on. Do you think this one will affect the market? I feel like it already has, but it's hard to tell.
Maybe there's a lot of silver removed, so
It's a lot of silver removed, a lot of people that don't have money. I mean, the richest people are the ones that pilot, right? So if 200 of the richest people are banned and 100 are suspended and money drained,
biohack got banned, dude.
not the top 200 got banned, but some of the 200 that are super rich.
Blade Boquist got banned, dude. Dude, there was some people freaking out in World Chat the other day talking about how like idiots were buying out some market because Blade Boquist was saying it or something like that, and that he was like scamming them or some shit like that. Like there was like this huge like anti-Blade Boquist thing going on in World Chat the other day. I was like, dude, what is that? Does he even play this game still? Like, why are people freaking out? Like, what is happening?
Yeah. I've not heard this. People were freaking out in my server chat yesterday because they were arguing over fossil fuels and global warming. That's what I usually get in my server chat and world chat. I don't know what channel you're on, dude, where they're talking about BDO. That's weird.
In my channel chat right now, they're talking about furries. So,
Hell yeah. Okay. Hashashin. Also, can we do a brief moment on Global Labs? Global
Okay.
Labs. I have a love-hate relationship with Global Labs. So I hadn't used Global Labs for a really, really, really fucking long time because it used to, every time I logged in, it would reset all my hotkeys, including WASD to move. I'd have to go in and manually set to move. So it was like really annoying. So I like uninstalled it a while back and hadn't logged in until recently. And they have like so many things that are actually really, really nice now because you can just buy like packs of items. The problem is like most of it is still in Korean, but some of it is in English. And like can we please just make it all English if it's older? Like I understand why new stuff isn't in English, but some of the old stuff I don't fully understand. Two, if you're gonna have a shop that sells like Kaffir stones and like all this shit, can you please just put everything in there and give us a search bar? Like there's like some really, really simple things. And then three, I don't know what this interface is. Is this a newer interface or an older interface? Because I can't tell. When I go to like settings, like the graphic settings look completely different than ours. But I can't really tell if it's newer or if it's older or if it's from console or if it's from KR. But it looks different. And I don't know why. And things are organized differently and it's confusing. This is a new one. People in chat are saying this is a new one. How long has this been here, dude? I feel like this has been here a while. Are we getting it, or are they waiting for New World to give us the interface? What is the deal, dude? This shit's fucking weird. Also, just give me a tent. Just give me a goddamn tent right off the bat. Always have an old moon book and a Kama blessing active on here. Like, why is that not a thing? And Merv's palette and all that stuff. Why are those not active just by default is my question. It's fucking weird. I don't know. There's some weird things in here. They're like slowly adding more stuff. Also, I do love that I logged in my Hashashin and the Awakening quest book that it gave me was for Warrior. So I couldn't use it. That was the one in my challenge tab, yeah. It was an Awakening quest book for Warrior. So I had to like run and do or start the quest. It was fucking weird. I don't know what happened. It was weird.
When the fuck are we getting Odalita?
I don't think we are, man. I think they changed their mind on that, and they feel like because we're a community that hacks and cheats that we don't deserve it.
Like, did they didn't even give like an actual date on that at the Heidel Ball, did they? They just kind of said like some point in is that the thing they said some point in later 2020?
Yeah, second half of 2020. Yeah.
Like what like okay, we're officially in the second half. We have been for almost 2 months now. You think they were to at least be like an announcement of like a date at this point?
Yeah. I mean, don't you think that's asking a lot?
For these fucking companies, yeah.
I don't know what the fuck, man. It's kind of annoying. I assume we'll get it probably in September, or we'll get an announcement in August and then get it in September or October at the latest, but I'm not really sure what the holdup is. I also don't know why we don't have like an announcement for when we're getting the Hashashin. Like, you can't say localization when it's out on console. Unless you just gave them the Korean one, that would actually be hilarious.
That would be pretty funny.
They're like, wait, I can't read any of these skills. Like, yeah, but you got it first, right? You know? Isn't that cool?
Ashes. So what? So let me think about this. So somebody jokingly says Ashes of Creation, but let me think about this. When does Blue Protocol come out?
Dude, in NA or just in general? Because in NA, it's not going to be for a long time. Like, minimum the end of next year.
Interesting. See, like, that's what I'm trying. Like, are they just holding it until the next fucking MMO drops? So they were like gonna release it with New World? Because I've said this before. You can call me Alex Jones all you want. This company fucking holds content to release. A, when they're in deep shit. B, whenever other MMOs come out or have huge content drops. So, like, I feel almost like they were holding Odalita for when, like, New World came out. And the New World got delayed a fucking year because it was supposed to come out, like, two fucking months ago or 3 months ago, whatever it was. And they were like, ah, shit, just fucking push Odalita back. We're just gonna keep fucking holding on to it then.
Yeah. I mean, maybe the World of Warcraft expansion, which is supposed to be out in, like, early fall, end of summer.
Maybe.
People are excited for that. What is it? Shadowlands?
Shadowlands, yeah. Or maybe the... I mean, I doubt that this would be the case, because it's just a fucking alpha, but Ashes of Creation is supposed to have its first alpha later this year.
It's first alpha. Imagine year 4 having your first alpha. Dude, how about this? Maybe it is Shadowlands, because I heard with the Shadowlands expansion that they're getting rid of Tab Target.
they're going full fucking
They're going action,
combat.
baby. Let's go.
Oh man. Yeah, I just don't know. Like dude, like KR's gonna have the fucking like Hashashin region before we get fucking Odalita at this rate.
Yeah. Also,
Can I
say,
what the fuck?
I know this is a little off topic, but every time I hear someone say, like, I was daydreaming about like how cool it would be if they did release like an updated, like really high-end graphic, like World of Warcraft from scratch, like an actual sequel with action combat. And then someone was like, they'll never release it with action combat, right? Because their player base likes tab target. And I'm like, every time I hear that, I just imagine, like, if that's true, it's literally the same as when BlackBerry was like, no one's going to buy iPhones because they want a keyboard, right? Like, actual professionals want a keyboard on their phone. That's how I imagine. Like, World of Warcraft's just going to die this slow, painful death due to stubbornness.
Yes. But like the thing is it's not necessarily that they like tab target. It's that they don't want WoW to change. I mean, you can literally look at WoW Classic as a perfect example of like the WoW community's feelings towards changing WoW, because the devs were like, whenever WoW Classic was initially released, the devs talked about like, okay, so we kind of want to judge how the community feels about these things. Like, should we like change some things? Should we like balance some things differently? Should we fix some things? And like a huge portion, if not the majority of the WoW community was like, if you change even a single fucking bug in WoW Classic, I will never play a Blizzard game again. Yeah. Like, it's insanity. They're literally like, I mean, listen, I know people like to talk about like cringy like fan bases, and like people talk about like Marvel and things like that, but the fucking Blizzard fanboys are some of the like most cringe and like just fucking autistic player base or fan base like I've ever fucking seen. Honest to God, it's insane. It is actually insane.
How are they artistic?
They're very artistic. Have you not seen all the wonderful Rule 34 fan art of World of Warcraft characters? They're very artistic. So I don't know. I don't think it's that they like tab targeting. I think it's that they don't want WoW to like change. So WoW has to like Blizzard has to make changes to WoW in a very similar way that Black Desert Online introduces more and more pay to win to its NA player base. Where it's like instead of just dropping like, you know, huge changes or huge pay to win, they're like, oh, you know, we're just a little value pack. A little value. It's not pay to win. It's just a value. Oh, you know, with the little Valks cries and little Valks, you know, advice to Valks. It's, you know, it's not a big deal. Oh, you sell costumes. It's not pay to win. Just sell some we're just gonna make it to where you can sell more costumes. It's still, you know, convenience. Come on. They have to change WoW in the exact same way, where it's little by little by little.
In fairness, that's for our own good, all that pay-to-win stuff. I don't know how you can't see it that way. Yeah, fucking wow, dude. The other, I know it's like, the isometric view Diablo 2 is also a little bit... Please let this be the last one that's isometric top-down view. Please, please, please.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know what it. I tried to play Diablo 3 with some friends the other day because I learned I didn't know this. Apparently, Diablo 3 has like season servers, but like on Diablo. But apparently, they're like very different. It's not according to my friend. It's not really for like new players. Apparently, it's like a super competitive like thing. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I didn't really understand the point of it, but I tried to play, and man, there's just something about top-down views that I just cannot get into it. I don't know what it is. It is just like the least engaging like gameplay like I've ever done. It's kind of why I hate RTSs as well. It's just something about. I guess I understand the necessity for it in RTSs though. Like you kind of have to.
Good luck controlling 200 units when you're fucking third person.
Yeah, right. So like it's kind of necessary for RTSs, but there's just something about top down. Like I'm so like not engaged in whatever the fuck is happening. I just couldn't give a fuck less. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it just feels like a little bit like 25 years ago was a technical limitation. Now they're doing it for nostalgia, and it's just like I don't understand why. Because like the top-down view, like if you look at Diablo when it first came out, which I believe the original was 1998, and then the expansion was like 2000 or 2001, like. The graphics looked pretty good for games at that time, you know?
Yeah.
But now it's just like, okay, like Diablo 3, I understood it too, because it's like nostalgia plus, you know, whatever, it's 2013, where it's fine. But now it's like, okay, in 2020, we're still doing the top-down view. All right, okay. And limited to 6 skills as well, so the combat feels super limiting, and the game will get boring after a few months. Cool. I don't understand what, dude. A third-person Diablo game with like a massive world doesn't even need to be like MMO. You could still have like only a certain number of people out in each game lobby or whatever. But I just think it would be so fucking cool.
You know, there's a new class though on Diablo 3. I didn't know this.
Which class would that be?
The Necromancer.
That was like 2 years ago.
Oh, what? They're still advertising it as like the new class, so I thought it was like recent.
Yeah. That's like when I played Terra again for the first time in a really long time, and everyone's like, "Oh, this is the new class," and I like looked it up, and it came out in like 2016. I was like, "Why are we still calling it a new class when it came out 3 years ago?" The newest class, I guess.
Dude, I saw you playing. Sorry, not to get off topic, but I saw you playing Risk of Rain 2 the other day.
Yeah, dude, that game's fun.
Dude, that game is so fun.
I'm shit at that game too.
and it's about to fully release, and I think they're dropping a new class whenever it fully releases as well. So pretty fucking hype about that.
Are they called classes in that game?
I don't know, classes, characters, whatever you want to fucking
Well,
call
I
them.
say because like whenever you say class in League of Legends, like we don't have classes, we have champions. Some fucking nerd comes out of left field. You think it's an MMO? It's not an MMO. It's a competitive professional game. All right, we have champions, not classes. Stop.
Why don't you we're getting super off track, but fuck it, we don't have a lot to talk about anyway. Why do you hate Nexus Blitz so much? Explain to me.
Okay. All right. So Nexus Blitz, which is a new game mode in League of Legends, came out this week, right? This week. Maybe you had a beta for it, so people played it before. I don't know, but came out this week.
Well,
and...
it's a game mode. It's a game mode from back in the day that they brought back.
Mm-hmm. So here's what it feels like. Imagine playing Mario Kart and Diablo and Paladins and Overwatch and Diddy Kong Racing all in one game. It's just a chaotic shitfest that's really, really boring and awful. And the thing is, like, and I know in the normal game mode, Summoner's Rift, that when you have, like, if you fall behind, it's kind of hard and there's a good chance you lose. And you basically are losing the whole game. But there's a chance you come back. And in fucking Nexus Blitz, I swear to God, you get a lead early and it's so insurmountable. They become so strong so fast that you're just fucked. Also, that game mode is way more susceptible to people dropping or quitting. And why there's a car. You can all hop into a car and drive together as plastic Timos and crash. And it's super lame and dumb.
I have not experienced that last thing. I don't know if you're telling the truth on that last thing. No, that is.
There's a little like wooden car that appears at the spawn, and you can all hop into it, and you drive it, and it feels like you're like moving Nunu's like snowball, right? It's like this super like slow turning thing, and when it hits somebody, it knocks them all up, just like the snowball, and you all hop out of the car and attack them, and it's just so dumb, dude. I don't know. It's a really like it's just a dumb game mode. That's all. Every time we play it, I'm like, I don't know why we're playing this. This is terrible.
Fair enough.
But you enjoy it?
Oh, yeah. It's hella fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you could tell you're a Desert Strike player.
Okay. Hold on. You can't shit on Desert Strike, dude. Desert Strike is the best part of StarCraft 2. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And also, it's Direct Strike, not Desert Strike.
Dude, you know what's crazy is me trying out League has made me start playing StarCraft 2 a lot more. I don't even know why that is. Maybe because you don't need to be level 30 and play 175 games to queue up for a ladder game. But
dude, you can't literally say I still have no idea what I'm doing in League of Legends, and then 5 seconds later turn around and say, I don't understand why the game won't let me play ladder matches.
I mean, dude, as shit as I may be, like I've already run into players like way shittier than me. I should be able to rank with those shitty players. I should be able to ladder already. Why? Dude, do you realize how many games that is? Like I've played like 70 games or something, and I still cannot like solo queue for ladder in Iron. Think about that. Why?
Why do you want to be Iron, though? I don't understand your desire to play ladder.
Because here's what happens: if I'm ranked, if I'm in a ranked match with a bunch of other shitty players, like then I can actually like read my shit and like see what's happening against people that are my rank. When I'm against nothing but diamonds that just instant clap me, it's horrible. I don't learn anything.
You need to not be playing with friends as much.
Dude,
then.
It's not that. Like whenever I queue up, it's like a bunch of people that are playing with their friends, and they're like diamonds that are playing with their new players. So I'm just like losing. Also, dude, I'm talking about solo queue. There was someone yesterday that literally was like, "Why aren't you fucking ganking over here? Why aren't you ganking over here? Why haven't you done this? How come you have that item?" And I'm like, I literally type like, dude, because I'm really, really bad and I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm a noob. And then the guy was like, "Fuck you," and I'm like, "What?" Like, dude, I can't choose who I queue with. I just hit the Q button. It doesn't let me ladder and play against people actually my rank. So it's putting me against diamonds and fucking golds and whatever. Like people that know the game and get tilted every time they see anything that I'm doing. It's so stupid. That game is like absolutely like anti-new player. It's impossible. If you're a new player that doesn't have friends that play League like that, you're fucked. You're never gonna get into it. That's all.
Well, the reason why you're getting queued against those people is because whenever you play with like me and Sammy and everyone else that you play with in Spectrum Discord, you win against those players.
You know,
so the game goes, oh, he's as good as these players. So whenever you queue up on your own, the game still assumes that.
No, I thought that too until I looked at what my record is, and I'm like 49 and 63.
That's still better than a lot of people.
Dude, but there's also like I don't know. It's just weird. Let me solo queue and ladder and play against shitty players. Not after playing the game for a full year. I shouldn't have to play for a full year. What?
That is also a bad assumption to make because you need to understand the sheer amount of people that intentionally go to Iron that aren't Iron players.
That's fine.
These stupid things like client, like, oh, I'm gonna go from Iron to Challenger, and they're like these god tier players that go to Iron and then shit on the Iron players.
I know, dude. League of Legends players are actually trash people, dude.
They are.
They're really horrible people. They all also shit talk each other so much mid game. I've never seen so many people on the same team talk so much shit to each other in any game in the history of my life. It's insane. Like the things people say to each other is fucking nuts. And then I thought like, I'm like, man, I'm glad like the friends I hang out with aren't like that because that seems so toxic. And then like when I watch them play and I watch like through Discord, they're all doing the exact same thing. They're just like typing fuck, like it'll be like hey, you need to be here, you need to be here, you need to be here, and then the other person tells my friend like can you just shut the fuck up, you're muted now, and then they'll be like, oh okay, fuck you pussy, fuck you then, all right. And it's just like what is happening right now, dude? Why?
It's what I've said about League for like a really long time now. I love League of Legends the game. I hate League of Legends the community. The community is the worst fucking aspect. I was playing Nexus Blitz with my friend the other day. We actually met through League of Legends fucking 10 years ago, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, dude, I wonder what would happen if for one season, Riot was just like, you know what, since you kids can't behave, we're taking away chat. Chat doesn't exist for this whole season. Like, what would happen? Like, I'd just be so interested to know, like, what the community's reaction would be if they just did that. They were like, you guys can't handle not being pieces of shit to each other, so we're taking away chat.
No, like, a whole season would mean you're talking like a full year?
No, seasons are usually, well,
I think in that game they're a year.
Almost a year. I think they're like 10 months, I want to say. Like 9-10 months, because there's also a preseason. I think a preseason and then the season makes up a full year. So I guess you would start it with the preseason. So yeah, fucking year. I don't know. Would just be an interesting social experiment, if you will. I'd just be so interested to see how the people would react to that. Yeah,
I mean, my assumption was true though from a long time ago. I always felt this way, and it confirmed it. StarCraft players are just better people than League players. Even at their worst, they're better than the best League players, just as people. And they're more talented because StarCraft's a harder game.
Man. We had the same teammates in Direct Strike, right? Those teammates that were flaming us in that game we played. Remember?
I don't remember. What did they say? I can't remember.
Remember they were complaining that we were really bad and shit.
But Direct Strike players are League players. Like those are the same people. If you're not playing like normal StarCraft, you're not. No, those people are League players. Anyway.
All right.
Should probably move on.
Let's get back on track. Yeah. Let's get back on track here. So, Next, we're going to talk about Hash Brown, which it should be obvious by now. We've been recording for, I don't know, like an hour or something like that. Frosty has it on screen. He's trying to grind Sakurea with it. So, how's it feel? Just generally, how does it feel? Have you tested both the Awakening and the Succession, and how do each of them feel?
I have. It feels really fun and fluid, and the skill animations are really cool and different, and I'm really hyped about this class, and I hope it comes out soon. I tested a little bit of PvP and just like messing around with some combos, and I dueled like other Hashashins, which the people on Global Labs, someone comes up and is like, hey, want to duel a couple to try out the class? I'm like, sure. And I set up my gear to basically match my live server gear. And like I was explaining to you earlier, I have one more AP bracket than I have on live server, but the DP bracket's the same. And I'm using Dead God armor because I don't have
Black Star armor.
No, Dead God. I'm using Dead God armor because I don't
Oh, are
have
you?
yeah, because I don't have guild buffs, I don't have a tent buff, and I don't have I forgot to get a villa when I came over here. So I don't have a tent buff, I don't have guild buffs, and I don't have any of the journals done, right? So it's stat wise, it's more or less like within a margin of error of my character. So I just wanted to get an idea. So someone comes up and is like, hey, duel for spot. And keep in mind, like I have a lot of gear, like on live server. I'm gear carried. So I'm like, okay. And they kill me in one skill. And I'm like, what's your AP DP? And they're like, oh, I'm 331, 440. And I'm like, why? Like, what? Why? What is that test for? Who are you testing that against? What's your gear on live server? And they're like, 269, 301. And I'm like, yeah. So what the fuck? Like, why are you 331, 440 on here? Like, what are you even learning from that? I don't understand. So it's weird. Fighting against other people on Global Labs is weird. But I did some gear matched fights, and I don't know. It's pretty fun. I think for me personally, playstyle wise, I prefer Succession more than Awakening. Awakening, people are gonna hate me for saying this, but it feels just like a slower Musa. Like it does feel and look like Musa, but just really slow. And it's like its movement is like kind of fast in spurts, but not really that fast. And it's also not like that protected. It has like the movement anyway. So when you use the flow dash, which is forward F, so it has this like it's a super armor dash, kind of similar to Succession version of Fiery Angel. When you use forward F, when you use it after a dash, it like will instant cast it, and it's super armor. But if you it has an 18-second cooldown, and when it's on cooldown, you can still use it, but it's not protected. And I don't know, it's okay. It's whatever. The side dash is basically like Ghost Step. The Awakening doesn't have a Q block. It only has S block, but it does have a grab. The grab is okay. Everyone's freaking out about it's a ranged grab. It's a worse version of Lan's grab, and it's not protected. So it's whatever. It's fine. It'll when I was dueling, I dueled a couple Hashashins, and it was really hard when I was on Succession. It was really hard for them to grab me. And I think grabbing a Ninja, a Kuno, or a Sork is going to be near impossible. But it'll be good against Guardian. Yeah, so I don't know. I think the class is pretty cool. It feels on both specs like it's missing their BAM skills. And I don't know if they'll give it good Rebam skills or not. Odds are they won't, because only like 3 classes actually have good Rebam skills, but it legit feels to me like it needs Rebam skills to fill out its kit a little bit, because it feels like it has so few skills. I don't know, like usable, viable skills. The absolute skill, when you're in the Awakening spec, the absolute skills just do so little damage in comparison. Like the Shift Q and the Shift E are just not that good. So when you're in Awakening spec, you're kind of forced to use mostly Awakening skills. But and then in Succession, like it kind of makes all those skills a little bit more viable, but the tree's still not that big, you know? I don't know.
Right.
So it kind of feels like it needs a little bit of filler. At least to me. Like, combos feel relatively slow. The class is not, like, really fast. Like, the skill animations of the damage dealing abilities are all relatively slow. So you're not going to be doing any, even though it's an assassin class, the combos are not going to look like Sork Ninja or Kuno. They'll look more like Succession Lawn combos, if that makes sense. I don't know if anyone's seen that. Basically, long animations that you hold for a while.
Are they protected at least though?
They do have good protected damage. I think Awakening has more protected, just outright protected damage dealing abilities. I keep getting, because I don't have some of these are not translated. So, but the Shift R and B skill, which is like the one where he spins his blade above his head, is protected for the entire animation, and so is the flow. And there's no CC on it. Like that's the other thing with Awakening, is Awakening doesn't have a whole lot of protected CCs. In fact, it has none. You basically have to use pre-Awakening to CC people with if you want protection.
That's par for the course.
Yeah,
isn't
par
it?
for the course. But it's like, it's such a weird thing because Succession does have protected CCs like right there on the kit where you don't have to C-swap. So a lot of your engages are protected in pre-Awakening.
How easy is it to swap like from like if you're using Awakening, right? How easy is it to swap to your pre-awakened to like use protected CCs? Like, is there multiple avenues for?
Yeah, so you can use C-swap, obviously, like normal. SC is like pretty good, but you can also use if after a dash, if you press LMB, it kind of does what looks like a murder intent, like the horizontal murder intent. That'll bring you straight into pre-awakening, which is nice. And then anytime you dash, so like if you do catch someone from pre-awakening, when you use your dash, it brings you into awakening, similar to Lon when they use shift forward. So yeah, it's relatively easy. And then also like forward R&B, if the tornado thing is on cooldown, it'll use the awakening version and bring you into awakening. There's a lot of ways. It's kind of easy. You're like, I'm pretty sure the block jump skill. Let me see if I have this right. Pretty sure the block. Oh, no, you have to be pre-awakening for it, I guess. Do you? Can't tell. Does not have it. Why is it not? Won't let me use it. I don't know what the fuck. Why are you not working block jump skill, you fucking piece of shit? Yeah, I don't know.
So
yeah.
let's talk about the block jump skill, because I think that's a point of complaint for a lot of people. Like, what is the major? Because you play Kuno, so you have a lot of experience using block jump in combat and whatnot. What are like the major differences between actual block jump and Hash Brown's fake block jump?
They're relatively similar. You have to have your reticle on the target. The thing that's interesting about it is I still think normal block jump is way more dangerous. Wait, why am I not able to use it? Maybe I accidentally locked it. The problem is I don't know what the skill icon looks like for it, so I'm pretty fucked. It's gonna stay locked forever. Did I lock it by accident? I don't see any locked skills. Yeah. So it's really good because I believe it's protected for the whole thing. So it has like a protected CC, similar to like Tendon Cutter. But the problem is that the CC comes out relatively slow. So even though when they do the teleport, you're probably going to get hit by the teleport, but you're not necessarily going to get CC because the CC doesn't happen until like 0.1 or 0.2 seconds after the teleport has already like resolved, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be kind of like you know how like when people block jump grab, that grab timing is more where the CC is on it, versus like block jump has that stiff first right when you come out. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, why is it not letting me do it now? Unless my E button is broken. I don't know.
Did you unbind your E button?
It's certainly possible. I don't know why I would have done that though. No, I don't think so. No, it's still bound. I don't know why it's not working. Multi says so, a slightly less unfair version of block jump. Yes.
Wait, don't you? I thought. Correct me if I'm wrong. I thought you had to like hit someone with an ability first before you could use it.
Oh yeah, maybe that's what it is. You have to have your you have to have a buff on your bar. Derp. Yeah, that's what it is. Duh. That's the other thing. Yeah, you have to have a buff on your bar. I completely forgot. So if you don't have like an attack speed or whatever buff, I think it could be from anything. It could be I think it has to be either monster AP or just AP. As long as you have a buff on your bar that's like AP related, you can use it. Yeah, that's why it's not working. Duh. So yeah, you have to use the little like whatever the hell it is. SRMB. Yeah, so it's like I don't know, the float comes out like slightly delayed, that's all. But it's a really cool skill and it's like it's nice. I don't know, it looks fucking cool as fuck too. It's definitely gonna catch people. Like a lot of people that sit in frontal guard or start a frontal guard ability are gonna get hit by it. I don't know. I think block jump is scarier though, especially in succession where Ninja and Kuno can cancel the start of the animation. Yeah, you have to have a buff on your bar. That's such a weird thing too, right? So like when you have an attack buff on your bar, like all AP 20, then you use E and it removes the attack bar or the attack buff and then uses the ability.
So it functions kind of like the fucking Succession Musa and Meiwa mechanic where it like the buffs on your bar augment your ability or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, Kuno has it too, right? Kuno has it as well where it like changes your shit.
Right. And it is actually not protected at any point. So I suppose you could CC someone out of it. Although I have not been CC'd out of it that I can remember. But I haven't dueled that much. I probably spent like 45 minutes dueling. So I don't know. Yeah, so I don't know. It's kind of cool. I think Succession is more interesting. So Awakening is like entirely melee. Like completely, like through and through, everything is melee. Like you have to be right in their face. Succession has a lot more range damage and mid-range damage, and I don't know. To me, it's way more fun, and it's like way different than everything. Awakening feels like I can't stress enough. It feels so much like Musa, but slower. It's like a slow version of Musa, whereas like Succession just feels like a completely new from scratch class. Like it doesn't feel like any other class to me. It has a couple skills that feel similar to like Lawn Awakening. Like it has a direct ripoff of Bleeding Hearts with their R&B skill. Looks like Bleeding Hearts, but yeah, I don't know. Dude, it's fun. The tornadoes look fucking cool. All right? That's the important thing, Reslar, and I feel like I can rest my case there. The tornadoes look fucking cool.
Well, that's good, I guess.
Dude, I know people think just from reading it that it's going to be crazy OP, but I feel like it's still... I just don't think it is. Maybe the damage will be... It's so hard to tell on Global Labs, because the damage is so wildly inconsistent on Global Labs that I can't tell like actually how much damage it does. There are some times where a skill will hit so fucking hard, and then sometimes like it will do nothing at all. And it's like really hard to tell if it's just lag or desync or whatever, because people are teleporting on the ground so badly. But yeah, I don't know. It's so funny to me. Like last week, right when it came out on Global Labs, I see all these videos of like, oh, look at its movement around the arena. Like this is crazy. And you watch the clip and like just isolated like, oh shit, that is like really crazy movement. And then like you stop and think about how Ninja and Kuno are, and you're like, but not that crazy, because
Right.
Ninja and Kuno exist. And then you think about Musa, and like even though the Musa combo isn't like complex, right? Because you're just kind of holding R and B and it's one dash, but Musa movement is way faster than Hashashin, and for like a longer duration, you kind of run out of stamina relatively quick on Hashashin. So I don't know. I'm not 100% sure what to make of the movement. I do actually think, because the way the forward F flow works after a dash in Awakening, that the movement is better than in Succession, because in Succession you don't have, it gives you an extra little side dash with a separate cooldown, but you can only use it when it's off cooldown. Whereas the Awakening extra dash on forward F you can use even when it's on cooldown, even though it's not protected. So it kind of makes like just general movement feel a lot faster. But I feel like Succession is like way more tricky, because it's got, you have to worry about their range like all the time. And that's that. And then I tried grinding it in Sakrea, and it felt worse than Kuno. And I'm pretty sure that's because Global Labs is fucking weird. Actually, I'm like 100% sure it's because Global Labs is weird. Like, one, I don't know a proper combo. But two, like the skills feel like they hit super hard at Star's End, even on mobs that are not down, but at Sakrea it feels like they do nothing. So it's really hard to tell. At Star's End, though, it felt like they died really quick.
So
from what you've seen, what do you feel about the two? Now that you've kind of seen what Awakening and Suck look like a little bit, or maybe you haven't seen Suck, but at least Awakening.
what do I think about the class?
Yeah. What are your impressions so far?
I am pretty much the same from the very first like like ability that I saw, where I was like, I don't know, kind of looks like it's gonna be more zoomy disappear, reappear, nothing personal kid class, and that's what it ended up being. And so I don't really have that much of an interest. I mean, I'm gonna make one and probably level it to 60, because I do that with all the characters, but or not all of them, but most of them. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really care that much personally.
It doesn't.
The sand animations look cool. I can say that.
It doesn't really have anything that makes you disappear, though. Like, especially in Awakening. So the side dash, or whatever, like the shift dash, that's like their go step, I guess. Like, you disappear for that animation. But because the cooldown's a little bit longer than go step, so you kind of notice it, you know? But in Awakening, all the movement is, you're not really disappearing, because you see like sand moving everywhere. So it's like more of just your character's animation looks different during it, but you're not really like actually invisible and hard to track.
Yeah. I don't know, like I said before, I've just never been like I don't play assassin classes, at least not like main. I like to like fuck around with them, sure. I just don't main them, generally speaking. And yeah, it's just another assassin class, it kind of seems like. So just kind of not interested. I think it's cool. I think the abilities are pretty cool. The animations are pretty dope. And if you like assassin classes, then you'll probably like it. It's pretty interesting, but just not my playstyle.
Right.
You know me. I'm more of a brawler type person. Generally speaking, that's usually my go-to.
Yeah. I mean, you're an archer right now, so I don't know you.
I am an archer. I'm an archer because I do not like the state of Zerker at the moment. It's very not fun. IMO.
I see. I don't know. It's really fun. I think the PvE is going to be really fun compared to Kuno, because it's just the animations are long on everything. So you're kind of sitting there for a while, you know?
Yeah.
It's interesting. yeah, the class is pretty cool though. Like design wise, I think they did a really cool job. I think it looks really fucking like it looks badass. Yeah, but I don't know. Again, it's so weird. In Secrea, it feels like it does no damage. I don't know why. It actually feels worse than Kuno. And I'm pretty sure it's just because, well, combination of me not understanding the class yet at all, and that it's also just maybe, I don't know, Global Labs is fucking weird. It has some conflicting hotkeys that really bother me. So it has a skill that is, it has two abilities that are, you press R and B after certain skills, and they like conflict with each other so much, it's kind of annoying. Because it makes it a little bit difficult to like combo people. So one of them is like a movement like tumble, and the other one is just a standing still like stationary damage dealing ability. And it kind of is annoying because, like, let's say if I wanted to just like engage someone after a CC and do damage to them, I'm like, I don't know. It's weird. It's hard to tell whether it's going to move me or not. Obviously, that would come with practice, but I don't know. I
Right.
wish they were on separate hotkeys. It's like kind of dumb that they're both on R and B, and they both seemingly like proc during some of the same things that I'm doing. That's the thing that's super weird about it. Yeah, I don't know. One of them is like, yeah. So wait, can you see on the stream right now, Rose?
Let me turn it up higher than 160p.
So
okay, I'm watching.
When I do this like dash and then I press R&B, it does this tumble, right? But then sometimes it'll do this skill. They're both like R&B. So the thing is, like, that was like throwing me off is like sometimes mid combo there's this like shift R&B combo that hits 2 times like this, and then like sometimes after it it'll do that, the damage dealing ability. Sometimes it'll tumble me away from the person I'm trying to combo, and I'm not 100% sure why. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, and it's probably just one of those things that you're gonna have to learn to like work around, sort of thing. Like
Yeah.
learn to time. It might be a timing thing or something like that.
Yeah. Dude, it has this ranged ability that you can use like for pulling and stuff. This I don't even know what it's called, but it's one of the quote unquote awakening skills, even though it's not an awakening skill, where like 2 tornadoes appear left and right and then they crash into each other. It is like the coolest animation in the whole game. It really is, dude. And it's like a relatively short cooldown, so it's kind of cool. So yeah, look at this ability. This one right here. Watch. Hold on. That shit is so cool looking. Dude, the tornadoes actually like do some damage too, which I'm a little bit surprised by. Like when you actually set them on a target and let them like sit there, they do actually deal damage over time, which is surprising to me because normally like I don't know if it's considered a pet or how the damage scaling works, but normally like with pet damage, it's doesn't do very much, like the discs on Sork or Delighted Blast on Kuno and stuff. But for whatever reason, these tornadoes actually do seem to do a little bit of damage, so that's kind of nice.
So in conclusion, you like it? You don't feel bad about buying coupons to reroll to it?
I'm not 100%. I need to see what their BAMs are going to be. In the current state, I actually don't think I'd use coupons to go to it.
Really?
Really. Like, really, really. I want to see what their BAMs do. I think that if you play Kuno, Ninja, Musa, or Lon, or Sork, you are going to lose a lot more than you do on the class that you currently play in Node War and in 1v1. Unless you're really shit at those classes, then maybe this will be an upgrade for you. I don't know. I guess that's always possible. Yeah. But it's pretty cool. I don't know. It's cool. It's got some cool stuff. I'm excited about it. It's a really cool baseline. Who knows what the balancing will be like? They probably have to make changes. It's not actually on KR yet, so there's not going to be any balance changes for at least a week. Once it's on KR, then we'll see. We'll see how like their grind speed is once they figure out like an actual like proper combo to use while grinding. I'm sure the grind speed is going to actually be really, really good overall. The PvP damage, I assume, will be pretty damn good. And yeah, I just think the movement and the catches are just not as good as some of the current assassin classes is all. That's my conclusion. I think Mooses are going to be a little bit disappointed because I think they're rolling to like pre-blade spin float nerf ninja, but they're not.
But they're not.
But they're
Feels
not.
bad.
Dude, the tornado
alright, so-
ability where you actually turn into a tornado also is like one of the coolest things ever. Have you seen that one?
I don't think so.
So
Wait,
the one where like
I think yeah. The one where like the tornadoes come together and then like
Yeah.
you turn into a tornado. Yeah, I have seen it.
So in the succession one, you immediately just turn into a tornado with those 5 tornadoes. It's actually really cool. And while you're a tornado, you're super armor. So you just like kind of move around and juke them, I guess. I don't know. It's pretty dope looking though. Wait, how's this guy
interesting.
How's this guy have a Merv's palette next to me in Global Labs, dude? Do I have a Merv's palette and I just don't know it? This guy paying to win on Global Labs? How does this guy dye his stuff? I don't have a Merv's palette, dude. The fuck? Yeah, I don't know. Alright, so yeah, that's Hashashin. It'll be cool. I'm excited. Not as excited as I was, but kind of excited.
Hoping that the Rabombs kind of fill in the gaps, basically.
Yeah. Did you know that skill that they demoed at the Hideout Ball, where he punches the ground and 3 tornadoes come up?
Yep.
That skill in succession hits like a fucking truck. In PvE
Really?
and PvP. That is like probably the single hardest hitting ability, at least like DPS wise, for the amount of time it takes for the 2 damage hits to come out, because you do damage right when you use it, and then it does damage at the end when the tornadoes pop up. And the cool thing about it is like you can cancel out of most of the abilities like anytime. So that part does feel pretty like assassin-y. Like you don't have to sit in your abilities for very long. So that part's kind of cool. Plus the block just looks cool, you know, a little dust surrounding him.
I've heard people complain about the way he walks. Do you have that complaint as well?
I do, yes. So in succession, he is walking as if... the best way to describe it is like when you're... the way he runs is fine. Yeah, the way he runs is fine. And like his movement and stuff looks pretty cool. It's his S block. His S block is very strange. The best I could describe is that he looks like he's backing away from a crowd after he pooped his pants, and he's trying really hard to not let the poop drip down his leg before he gets to the restroom. Do you see what I mean?
I don't know what that looks like, so I'm not sure, in all honesty, but I'll take your word for it that that's what that looks like, I suppose.
Someone said to hold caps lock and walk, but caps lock for whatever reason in Global Labs is not walk. So
because you have to bind it, probably.
Yeah, I gotta go bind it somehow. Let me see.
You gotta see that RP walk animation, dude.
Oops. It did say it was caps lock, but it wasn't working. Oh, because my weapon needs to be put away, huh? Well, now I can't put my weapon away because I accidentally rebound tab. L-O fucking L. Dude. There we go. And then walk, run. Okay, there we go. put our weapons away. No, his walking, like his forward walking kind of does look dumb, but it's not that bad. You know what it looks like? I'm dating myself here, but there used to be a shirt that everyone used to wear when I was in like elementary school and high school, where it was like a duck walking forward with a hat on and it said, "I'm the boss." That's what he looks like, dude. Like he's like mean mugging you as he walks forward and he's like stomping like he's coming to give you real pain. But yeah, the S block is definitely like, I think because he's wearing these like loose, like kind of baggy white pants, and the poop will definitely show through if he lets it drip down his leg. So he's like being extra careful. Dude, by the way, the snake armor looks fucking cool. Have you noticed that that whole thing around his upper body is just a giant snake? With 2 heads, or 2 giant snakes, I guess.
Oh, interesting.
Dude, it actually looks really fucking cool. Yeah, it's cool. He's a cool class. I don't know why we don't have a release date though, or at least like a pre-creation date or anything. Once I get localization down, then hopefully we get it. Moving on.
That localization ex machina, dude.
What?
Like a reverse ex machina, I guess.
Wait, why?
Because it's always there to ruin the day. Localization, man.
Oh, I see.
Always localization.
Kuro's asking me if I plan on rolling from Kuno to this. I need to see. I don't know right now, honestly. I would get really. I think it wouldn't take very long before I miss how fast Kuno feels. Or Ninja or Sork. Especially like with comboing. Like the skill animations are very slow on this class. Very, very, very slow. So I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not really committed fully to switching. Man, I don't know. It's kind of sad because I was more. I still wish they did more with tornadoes. Like, there's really not that much tornado-y stuff. It's like Shift Q. You have a little tornado in front of you. The Alt does the split tornadoes where you have like 5 of them. I don't know. I kind of wish the tornado thing was a little bit bigger deal, but like maybe 1 or 2 more skills. Like this Shift R and B skill and then the spacebar skill, there's just like nothing to them. They don't even really have animations. It's just really slow. Like considering he's using a scimitar and like a offhand that's like a double-sided blade, like it's weird that his attack animations feel really slow like Guardian on the one like that aren't tornado. Like they feel like actually like Guardian skills a little bit. And it doesn't really make sense considering he's using a small sword, you know? Like this Shift L and B skill, and then space, Shift R and B and space. Like these animations are slow, like really, really slow. So I don't know. It's kind of weird.
So in conclusion, Hashashin is bad. Nobody's gonna play it. Dead class on arrival.
It's not slow, dude. It has a grab, so it's a free win.
Free win, dude. Free win for all the mooses out there. All right, let's move on to the last little tidbit we're gonna talk about. I don't know exactly what we're talking about, but Crow's Nest we have on this list. I've been told by someone in the Discord that apparently Crow's Nest, the if you don't know what it is, it's a thing that they added. It's basically like Savage Rift 7.0 or something, where you have to defeat an endless wave of mobs because we haven't had that content before.
Someone's lying to you. That is not Crow's Nest. There's not endless waves of mobs.
That's what I was told. What do you mean?
Yeah, well, you were told wrong. All right, so I did Crow's Nest on the first day, and the only reason I'm not doing it after is because traveling out there is fucking bullshit. And they added a portal in Global Labs, and eventually we'll get it when we do. Then I'll actually go out. But you're fighting a boss. It's 5 stages of bosses, and it's random bosses. So every time you participate for the daily, it's a random boss that you fight. And some of them are like reskin bosses with a couple extra mechanics, and some of them are kind of just new. Or at least I haven't seen it or don't recognize it. Maybe I don't go to the grind spots where they are from. But yeah, it's like the only one that feels a little bit like a wave is when you're fighting the Shadow of Gahaz, because she splits into clones of like 2 or 3 or 4, which actually gets kind of hard. I don't know. It tilted me the first day because I got really unlucky and I got the guy that's what is the character? What is the? It's a reskin of. He's holding a giant 2-handed hammer. I think he's a Kadri mob, maybe. I can't
Oh, you're
tell.
talking about Schultz.
Oh yeah, Schultz. That's it. Dude, he does this spinning attack that once it CCs you, you're dead. So I lost on the second wave because I got him and I had no idea about that attack. And like everyone else that went there either didn't get him or got him at the end, so they got way further than me. I literally died in round 2 and I was so fucking tilted because you don't get to try again until the next day. But dude, the boat ride out there is so long and the rewards are not great at the start. I think they scale up. So you get this, it's like a crow's nest thing that goes in the slot where your adventurer's tome is. And it starts off as pry. And every day you complete the daily, if you finish all 5, you can enhance it. And as the higher level it is, the more of these tokens you can get. So when it's only pry, you don't get that much. But when you finish, I think you get like 50 in a day. But the rewards all cost like 500 or 1,000 or whatever, 300, 200 to like get things. But I'm pretty sure when it's like try, tet, or pen, it's a lot easier. And I think, I don't know, I can't remember off the top of my head. You get like fail stacks and stuff. The 6,000 one gives you a combat and skill EXP reset, or not reset, swap, like for a character. If you have 6,000 of the tokens.
Reset, dude.
Yeah, not a reset would be sick. You just get an Armstrong skill guide. Yeah, so it's actually kind of fun, to be honest. I had fun fighting in it, and I don't know if it scales with your gear or what kind of gear you need exactly, but like most of the mobs didn't do too much damage to me, but the one guy definitely killed me immediately. So I'm not too sure what the deal is with that. And then the rewards, like maybe again, like I don't know how much you get when you have like a tet or a pen version of that crow's nest item. So maybe you actually do get a lot more later on, so it's not that bad. But yeah, right now the biggest problem is that you have to travel out there on a boat, and it's actually really far. At least like maybe if you have a crack or whatever the hell, it's not that far. But with a regular Furious sailboat, or in my case a fishing boat or a shark suit, it's really, really, really far. So yeah, I don't know, it's kind of fun, but it's only 5 waves. You just do 5 waves, you finish the quest line, it gives you like a trial of 5 like basic ones, and then you do 5 waves. One of them, so I'll just describe the boss that I remember, but one of them is like a Shadow of Gahaz that can split into clones, and you have to kill, I believe you have to kill the clone as quickly as possible, and then you can fight the actual thing. I'm not 100% sure, but there is some weird mechanic where it'll keep making clones over and over and over again with full health if you're not hitting the right target. I have to figure out what that mechanic is. I was able to do it, but I think I got lucky. One of them is an archer. You're fighting against an archer that's just like a plain Jane looking like archer dude, and he's shooting you with like skills that aren't that hard to avoid. But all over the arena there's numbers, like you see countdowns, like these square numbers on the ground, like all over the place, and when they get to 0 they're bombs that like CC you and do damage. So you gotta like avoid the bombs while you're fighting him. And then yeah, I fought the Schultz guy that most of his mechanics seemed very basic, but then his spin, it was like, I'm trying to think of a character's skill that it's similar to. I guess kind of like the Hashashin shift R&B. It's just a big old circle spin thing that's like a huge AoE that just kills you and CCs you repeatedly. And that's all I remember. There's like a tamer pet lion thing. He didn't seem like he had that many mechanics. I don't know. I kind of hope that they make the rewards, I don't know if the rewards are good, because like for me, I just care about raw silver. I don't really care about getting fail stacks and stuff. I think you can get fail stacks and like shit like that from it, but I don't know. To beat the Gahas one, you have to hit the real one to find out the real one. It will not spawn near the clones at the start, so you have to mark her with damage and kill that one. Alright, well there you go. So you ignore the clones. It's kind of fun. You should do it at least once when they add the teleporter. The instant waves of mobs is coming, dude, in seasonals in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, some scroll that spawns waves of mobs. I don't know, dude. I did watch a video. I did watch a video of someone here. Let me link this to you. Watch one sec. Let me find this. One of the Korean players put up a video of the new Witch's Chapel area, and apparently it's like really, really good skill points. And it also does drop because it's like a low-level area, but it does drop Kaphra stones, which is kind of interesting. Here we go. It's called Betrayer's Graveyard. I'll link this in Discord and the stream. So yeah, basically he's like at this tombstone. The mobs are all like gathering to the tombstone, but he says in the video that he's surprised by how many mobs actually come out. Like a ton of mobs spawn at a time and like come towards the thing. So you can just literally sit in place, killing these mobs forever, I guess. I don't know what his gear is in this because it's on Global Lab, so I'm not sure what it is, but apparently it's good skill points, so yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I get maybe it's like a new Soldier's Grave SP, like maybe pull you out of, make polys less crowded if you need skill points. I don't know how much actual XP it is, but I do wonder here about macros / bots, you know? Since it does seem to be infinite.
Yeah, that does seem like it would be a concern.
I'm pretty sure for this whole video he's at the same tombstone. And this video is 7.5 minutes. But it does seem fairly easy to, like, I don't know, if you're a wizard or a witch, just all you have to do is to stand in one location, set up a macro.
7.5 minutes, and it's sped up.
And it's sped up, yeah. But all you'd have to do is spam like Aquagale, Bolide, Cataclysm, Aquagale, Bolide, Cataclysm, and you're killing shit, you know?
Right.
Kind of cool. I would love the idea of like really fast, like actual scary mobs jumping in, trying to kill it, where it's like actually really, really hard to stop.
Big siege.
What did you say?
Big siege.
What's big siege mean?
Fix siege.
Oh, fixed siege. And you think it's the same team that made that? Siege changes are delayed because of that grind spot.
I think that they're putting putting resources into stupid shit like this, while siege scene in every region is fucking dead as shit, which is fucking stupid.
I think they gave up on siege, dude. I think they
kind of feels like
quit.
that.
Yeah, I think they completely quit the whole siege thing. I think they're like, fuck siege. No, NA and EU only. Siege is definitely not dead in just NA and EU. I promise you. It's definitely dead in other regions. KR being one of them. I don't know. I like that grind spot. Well, I like that in the last year or so they've been changing the grind spots up a little bit. You know? Yo, actually, the siege engages were super short on console with damage modifier changes without Kaphras. The engages were probably shorter, but then you had to wait for that load screen. You know what I mean? Poor console players, dude. Yeah. So I think that's about it. We don't really have anything else to talk about. Oh, they did. We got the fucking. You can instant swap from Awaken to Suck, and it actually saves your cooldowns and your quick slots now. So you have to like manually go in and save. Like if you have all your shit set up, let's say you're on. If your Zerker was in Awakening, you had all your cooldowns set up in your quick slots. You have to go save it. You have to like newly save it after the patch in skill slot or save slot 1 or 2, and then swap over to Succession, set up all your cooldowns and quick slots, and save that in the opposite slot. And then when you go back and forth, it actually will instantly change all of your cooldowns and all your quick slots to the appropriate thing, which is super nice. So now it saves everything. When you swap, it's just everything switches over. Now that doesn't apply to someone like you, Rezar, who plays Archer, but
Yeah, I was about to say, thank God, man. I've been waiting for it.
someone did point out an interesting thing. If you don't want to have a moon book and you're like a newer player that doesn't have that many skill points, or you're playing a new class that doesn't have that many skill points, so you're still like trying out skills or whatever, you can set up all your skills, save it as like quick slot 1. But for quick slot 2, you reset all your skills and save it with no skills input as quick slot 2. So when you click quick slot 2, it'll just reset all your skills, and you can put in whatever skills you want every time. So nice little workaround for like an Armstrong skill guide, I guess. I'm probably going to get permabanned for saying that. I guess that's technically an exploit.
Yeah, dude, you're gonna be in the next bandwave, my guy.
Yeah. It's actually really nice though, because once you're past level 58, right, you can't change your shit anymore.
Right.
Or whatever it is, so now you can. That'd be good for you. You still doing the Oasis grind on every character? Have you gotten through them all yet?
Have I done what now?
Your Oasis grind on every character?
Oh, I gave up on that. I did all the classes that I can stand to grind on.
Yeah.
I got to level 58 on Valk and was like, this is awful. And I just kind of gave up after that. I did all the classes
It was
I wanted
Awaken
to do.
Valk, you said?
No, Succession.
Oh, Suck. Suck seems kind of fun to me. You thought it was boring? Or you didn't like Suck Valk?
Yeah, it was really, I don't know, something about it just not fun. I don't know how to describe it. It's just literally just boring. I was falling asleep.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's weird. Like, Guardian was fun. Musa was fun. Ninja was fun. Kuno's pretty fun. Valk, not fun. Lawn, the most not fun. I was trying to level up my Lawn to do the quest line to get the Chimera earrings. I got to like level 30 something, and I was like, this is the most painful thing I've ever done in my life. Please get me off of this class.
Yeah. I want to point something out real quick on the Hashashin. When you play in Remastered on Succession, the skill animations, it adds all these like bright yellow sparks that look really cool. It needs that when not on Remastered. I don't care if it's a lower quality version, but you know how in like on every other class, it takes the skill animation and just kind of enhances it. This is like these yellow animations are not even in Succession when you're not on Remastered. Like they're just not even there. It's black. It's like all black animations that are like kind of hard to see. And it adds these bright, really cool looking yellow ones in Remastered that I don't know. I feel like it needs to be there for non-remastered too, because it looks way more like plain Jane, if that makes any sense.
Right.
Like they look really, because it makes even like the most basic skills look a lot cooler. Like a lot cooler.
All right. Well, I guess that's everything we got for today. We're gonna do. Am I doing comments or are you doing comments?
I'll do the
What are we
comments. I missed it last week, you know?
doing?
Yeah, dude, it's my favorite part of the day. I want to address, I'm sure there's a bunch of angry mooses, so let's see.
Last time I checked, there actually wasn't. That was like 2 days ago, though, so maybe I should check again.
Yeah, they probably permanently left us. Mooses are not my biggest fans.
There was quite a few more comments this time around, though.
I am excited for that. That part of the Hashashin seems like live server Hashashin, like mooses rolling over to it, and then me fighting. Like that's one of the things that makes me want to stay on Kuno, because I want to fight all of these mooses that switch to Hashashin that think they're gonna win because they have a grab, and just to show them, like, just to give them a sample of what it's like to have a grab. Also, the amount of times they're going to get CC'd out of their grab by like tendon cutter or block jump is going to be crazy. Angry mooses are now happy hash browns. That sounds so funny. Okay, here we go. Let me take a quick sip. All right. Arshar says, hyped for the new class. Good stuff as always, boys. Heart. AOC.
Thank you.
Ziba says AOC isn't fully crowdfunded. He's talking about Ashes of Creation. Isn't fully crowdfunded. A majority of the cost is being paid for by the CEO. So if the game goes under, he loses a ton of investment. I'd watch Asmongold's interview with him if you're interested in the game. Tim replies, this Ashes was actually fully funded before launched a Kickstarter, and a large portion of the money came from Steven's own pocket. Austin Lassiter says, Reslar spitting straight facts today, start to finish. I think the implication there is that Reslar's normally not saying anything of value.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Jevin Rogers says,
which I do agree with, by the way,
Jevin Rogers says, I love how y'all shit on a class that hasn't been out a month. I hope Hashashin shits all over your favorite classes. And FYI, not everyone plays Hashashin rerolled from Musa. I never really liked your channel because y'all are too snobby. If the classes isn't what you play, you don't really give it a fair chance.
So I left that comment in. I thought about deleting it because it
Why?
just seemed so stupid. But I thought, like, literally the whole episode was you talking about how cool it was and how you can't wait to play it. So this comment makes no sense whatsoever. Like, it's literally, it makes zero sense. Like,
am I snobby about classes that I don't play? Am I that way? I don't
know.
I don't think I am.
I mean, the only thing I can think of is that he was referring to me, because you've said nothing but positive things, pretty much, about Hashashin. Like, from the very first fucking ability reveal to this episode of the podcast, where you said that you think it needs bombs to kind of fill it out a little bit better, you've said basically nothing but positive things. I have generally just said that I need to get my hands on it before I make any final decisions. So I'm not sure what this comment is in reference to be perfectly honest. Because you've been positive, and I have always said that before I really make any serious judgments, I need to get my hands on it and like actually play it for myself. So I don't know what this comment's in reference to, man.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you think it's... I don't know. Do you think the Hashashin is going to be called Hashashin on our server? Is it called Hashashin on Xbox? I think it is. I'm pretty sure I would have heard a new name. I think, and since it's called that there, I'm pretty sure that's what it's going to be called here. It's just hard.
I hope not.
It's hard for me to say, man.
It's way easier to say hash brown, and that's what I'm going to call it for the rest of its existence if they do make it mean that.
Yeah, it's Hashashin on console. I don't know.
That's like if fucking Maywa would have been named fucking Plum. You know how much that shit would have been memed?
Yeah. I never really liked your channel because y'all are too snobby if the classes isn't what you play. You don't give it a fair chance. I don't know. I have to use the restroom. You want to read the next comment? I'll be right back.
Okay. Let's see. So Cody Roach says, "Keeping it fresh, boys." Appreciate it, Cody. Doug B says, "Hey guys, console player here. Been watching the podcast for a while now. Enjoyed every second of it. Keep up the good work. Thank you, sir. Just wanted to say about escape feature is cancer on console. They should just make it hotkey on the D-pad instead of pressing all triggers and X simultaneously. And by the way, which failing to do so caused the escape not to trigger. But yeah, we all just say V though, because it's easier, and most in-game players are from PC or watch video streamers that say it." Fair enough. Yeah, I thought whenever people told us last episode that it was all the triggers and X, that seemed rather complicated and like easy to fuck up. And like I don't know what those buttons do like normally, but like I'm sure it works the same as like on PC. So like for instance, Zerker in PC, if you want to do the axe slam onto the ground that you see Zerkers do all the time, you have to do down, left click, right click, and you have to time your button presses in a very specific way that if you don't do it in that specific way, it ends up you do other shit instead. So I wonder if like you'll accidentally like do other things if you don't time the trigger presses and the X all at the exact same time, if you'll end up like fucking escaping or some shit, some dumb shit like that.
You talking about Doug B's comment on the V?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, that shit is actually funny. I didn't realize they have to fucking basically take every finger on both hands and press every button they can at the same time.
Yeah, pretty much. It's kind of a feels bad, honestly, for console. There's just a lot of feels bad for consoles.
Yeah, luckily
Like-
next gen consoles are coming and Black Desert won't work on it. Ali Speed Ali Speed says, "I like listening to these whilst chilling or playing the game. Keep it up." Thank you. Comments
Thank
like
you,
that
sir.
are so nice. Hooded Hamster says, "Comments about Musa hash/grabs were just plain wrong. Lamau." I has issues says, "Musas that reroll hash are going to be confused when they discover their movement combo requires more than RMB." See, now we've just become a Musa hate podcast. Oh my god, dude. Steven Sosabi says, "I'm an awakened Musa. I like it." See, some people do like their class. Dude, Musas have a big like grass is greener complex. Like they don't. I don't know. It's crazy.
Dude, like, I don't know.
A lot of classes do actually. It's just in this particular instance we've been talking about Musa for so much, but people. I don't know. Every class seems really fucking awesome and overpowered, and until you play it, and I mean, except for Suck Wiz, then it's still awesome and overpowered. But everything just seems way better before you actually play it. And then you start finding all the little faults and openings and things that are irritating about the class. But, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's what I was gonna say. Is it's like, if you really hate the balance of your main that much, just go play something OP. That's literally what I did. That's why I'm a fucking archer right now. It's because I'm very annoyed with the state of Zerker at the moment. It's very not fun and not where I want it to be. And so I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to play something busted. And I was either going to play... I didn't want to play Suck Wizard because I'm not a goddamn fucking piece of shit. So I was like, I'm either going to play fucking Awakening Witch or Archer because I don't like Guardian. Guardian is just not fun to me. Not that fun, anyway. It's good to mess around on, don't want to main it. And that's why I played Archer. It's because it's like, I get to play something that's busted. I don't particularly love it. Like, I don't love it like I do Archer, but I don't know. It's just, you play something busted, and then you don't really have much to complain about. The only thing I complain about on Archer is goddamn terrain in Battle Arena. I don't understand why it is not even terrain. It's very annoying. It blocks a lot of my fucking shots. Very frustrating.
Yeah, luckily Wizards don't have that problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, I think just to give a couple examples, whenever it's like people only remember the thing that caught them forever about other classes. So like when someone fights against a Zerker, they're always like, I mean, what's all you gotta do is Lava Piercer and grab. All you gotta do is Lava Piercer and grab. Because they remember that time they got caught by the Lava Piercer and grab while they were grinding at Mansions and Arsha or whatever. But then like the Zerker has to remember the other, out of their 45 times they Lava Piercer and grab attempted, 41 of them they got CC'd, not the other person. Or
Right.
where, you know, you duel someone for spot and you get hit by Tendon Cutter and you're like, dude, Tendon Cutter's so fucking busted, because they don't remember the 45 other times against someone that knows what Tendon Cutter is that Tendon Cutter didn't do anything. Or whatever, like grab, block jump. Like same thing on I just whatever. Like every fucking class, you know? Even like Sork or Tamer Alt. Like the Tamer Alt's a good one too, where everyone remember, like people that don't play Tamer all remember the time Tamer dove into the ball and killed their entire guild. And they're like, dude, I can't believe people complain about that class, dude. But they don't remember, they don't see it from the point of view of the Tamer, where that was their 4th attempt at doing so. The other 3 times they instant died and killed nobody. You know?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's just, people only see their class and the negatives on their class and think every other class has nothing but positives and perfect whatever.
People shouldn't complain about full bloom. Listen, it's really hard, okay? It's like really, really difficult actually. So people shouldn't complain.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know whenever I fight an archer, I hide behind a rock or a tree, and I know I'm completely safe.
Full bloom, I will say this though, like you would think that like Archer, you're like, oh, Archer, not really that affected by desync. Actually, it kind of is, because there is nothing like more devastating than whenever you CC somebody, you go up to full bloom them, and then right as you cast full bloom like up their ass, so you get the full damage, they just go and they just squeak to the side a little bit so you don't get full damage and it doesn't actually kill them, and then they get up and CC you. That is the most frustrating thing I have ever experienced in my life. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yeah, because once the full bloom misses, what's your kill potential after that? Like, the odds of you killing someone if full bloom misses is what? 10% or less?
I mean, it depends on if you can get out, right? Because a lot of people will stand up and try and grab you, and so if you get grabbed, you're fucked. If you don't get grabbed, then I mean, you can basically try and just like reset the fight essentially. But yeah, if they desync, like slither on the ground 2 feet to the left, and you miss the full damage on full bloom, it's very unlikely that you're going to be able to kill them right there. So really, it's like the fucking escape meme where it's like current objective survive. Basically, the second full bloom doesn't kill somebody.
Yeah. Okay, JHM says, I'm still kind of new to this game, about 1,400 hours, and I started with Guardian just because it appealed to what I like. Can we stop and just address how 1,400 hours is new to this game? I mean, he's not wrong, but it's just insane. I mean, that's just like a BDO in a nutshell. Well, guys, been playing about 12,000 hours, and I'm starting to get the hang of the game. It's fucking crazy. It started with Guardian just because it appealed to what I like. I hear it's OP, but haven't really felt it just from what I've seen in videos and comments all over. It seems that it doesn't matter what class someone plays, they will always complain about others. Correct. I play on 240 ping. Oh my god. Not using it as an excuse for me being bad. Nope, that's a totally valid excuse. That's a lot of fucking ping. But it might have something to do with not really feeling the overpoweredness of the class. I do agree that if people really have an issue with their class, they should just change. Guardian could get nerfed into the ground. I will still play it because I like it. Love the vids. Yeah, I mean, that like what Rez was saying last week, like at some point, if you're investing a year of time complaining about a class and you're complaining and you're writing on every Reddit post complaining about your class and you're trying to remind everyone that your class sucks, dude, just do us all a favor and reroll to something else, please. Just stop playing that class that you hate.
Yeah, because like logically, at that point, you can't be enjoying it anymore. Like that's my thought process, right? Like, if you're, like, that's why I'm not playing Zerka right now, is because I'm not really enjoying it anymore. Like, I mean, I still love the class. I love the design of the class. I love the feel of the class. But where it is balance-wise, I don't have fun playing it right now, and that's why I'm not playing it. I feel like if more people just took a step back and realized that it sucks that the state of balance right now is what it is for my class and that I don't like it, but it's not fun for me, and I shouldn't play it. If more people realize that, they'd probably be a lot happier, in all honesty.
Devac says that mooses hate themselves. Remy says, hey, great talk about Siege. I'd say if they fixed everything aside from the Merc system, the Merc situation would almost not even be worth worrying about. Balance audio next time. Time for a TLDR video on equal dollar evasion gear versus accuracy build on worst case class matchup. And just say, here it is. I'm not talking about it anymore. Okay, so I could not disagree more about the Merc system thing. Even if you fixed all of the other issues with Siege, the Merc system still hurts new and up-and-coming guilds. And for literally no actual reason. Like, it doesn't even the guilds that get a bunch of Mercs, it's not benefiting them long-term. I mean, looking, like, historically at all the guilds that have just, like, mass Merced and taken territories, like, even multiple 2-3 weeks in a row, like, those guilds eventually just die. Because none of the people in there are permanent. And then when they have to fight, here's what happens every time. It's like, you bring 40, 50 people to a node war, and then 30, 40 mercs, so you have 85, 90 people on your war, you win the territory, and then the following week you get demolished by the next guild that does the same thing because you can't have mercs. You just get completely wrecked. So that's problem number one. Problem number two, it still makes it so people don't want to commit to a guild because they could just merc and do whatever. So they don't even go to a node war guild or try to build or anything. Among other things. There's a lot of problems, but the merc system is definitely a problem still. Balance audio next time. I'm gonna blame Reslar, but say it's my bad. And then time for a TLDR video on equal money evasion gear versus accuracy build. So yeah, I mean, they're both really expensive to get, right? Evasion and accuracy. I don't know. I mean, the TLDR is like, if you invest a lot of money in evasion, you're going to feel more tanky. If they invest a lot of money in accuracy, you're going to die faster. It's just as simple as AP versus DR, to be honest. It's not that crazy. It actually is relatively even I don't even know. I actually think it's easier to get accuracy. It's slightly easier to get accuracy than evasion. I mean, you can sit at 301 DP and just get an accuracy accessory and start killing all the people that invested billions into their evasion gear, you know? I don't know. The Awkward Ninja says, dude, Musassin is actually delusional. Stop giving him attention. And he says, edit, fuck, watch further. These guys are doing mental gymnastics harder than people that think they're going to suffocate on a mask. I think that was it's a COVID reference there.
COVID reference?
Yeah, since you're the Alex Jones of the podcast, what's your Alex Jonesy take on masks for COVID?
Just wear them.
That's not what I was expecting from you, you Texan. David,
it's such a strange thing to me. It's like,
I was hoping you were gonna say masks are government oppression.
No, that shit's retarded. Just like wear it. It's not like it's hard. It's not like it's difficult. If people say I can't breathe when I wear a mask, they're literally just lying. Just fucking do it. It's not that hard, and you can save someone's life. Yeah, the virus doesn't kill a lot of people, but it kills people, and we want to try and prevent killing people. So just wear a fucking mask. Ain't it that hard? There you go. That's my take on it.
David Motter says, dude, I do want to, I have a little aside. I don't know why. This reminded me of, because you said it doesn't kill a lot of people, and I thought about like the old people and like how old people are at risk, and then it reminded me of my grandma, which reminded me of the other day my grandma got a scam phone call from someone that said I was in jail in Florida because I ran over a pregnant woman and it killed her baby. I'm not kidding. This actually happened. So randomly my sister calls me on like a Wednesday morning and is like, Grandma just called me and said that you're in jail and that she's trying to like figure out what to do, or they're asking her to help support and get you out with bail money. And then a lawyer called her and said that you're in really deep shit and that you're really apologetic, but we can get through this. And it was like just some bullshit scam, right? That people run. But my grandma, because she's older. She's like late 80s. And I talked to her on the phone and I was like, Grandma, I'm not in jail. A. B. I'm not in Florida. C. You would be the last person I call if I end up in jail. I promise. Like, absolutely, my 89-year-old grandma is not who I'm thinking of if I get put in jail, you know? I'd probably call, I don't know, my girlfriend, my sisters, my close friends, my mom, my dad. My grandma's definitely at the bottom of the list.
Yeah, grandma's like number 8 or 9.
way down there. And I was like, I'm fine. And then like a week and a half later, I get a card in the mail from my grandma, and she sent me $50 and said if anything happens to me to hold on to that money. So thanks, Grandma.
Thanks, Grandma.
Yeah, all right. Put that in a little bond, you know? Save it for later. David Motter says, I just want to be mentioned in the next podcast. I mean, come on, my pee-pee itches too. And then he also says, oh, fuck, great podcast yet again. It helps me get through work. All right, David Motter.
Appreciate it.
You're an honorable mention today. Thank you, David Motter, for enjoying the show. Someone in chat. Oh, Longfinger said, my grandma got the same call. I was supposedly drunk driving in Mexico and ran over a child. Yeah, it's a scam. Dude, the thing is like, they call you and act like they're a person, you know, right? And they call like old people, and then the old person is like, wait, that doesn't sound like, you don't sound like, and they'll say the person's name, and then they're like, you know what, I have to go, my call time is up, my lawyer will call you. And then because the grandma said the name, now the lawyer calls you and it sounds more official, like, oh, your son Brian is in blah blah blah, you know, whatever. Now they have your name, so it sounds like they know what they're talking about. They literally like fish for you to say the person's name, and then they call you the pretend lawyer. It's fucking hilarious scam, but also fucked up, because I know a lot of old people probably are sending these people money, or it wouldn't be happening.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Yeah, it's sad.
That's like the same thing with like these like, you know, there's like phone games you see advertisements for, and you're like, who the fuck would ever play this shit? But like, someone does, because otherwise they wouldn't be fucking making these ads for it, man. Someone plays these fucking games.
Yeah. Dude, that Lazy Peon video, I can't remember what game it was now, but it was like a few weeks ago. He put like the worst MMORPGs ever played.
Yeah, I watched that.
Dude, that shit had me dying, because it was just like all these pop-ups, the game auto plays, and he literally like at some point he like, oh, I got a mount, and he starts clicking skills, and then other pop-ups like interrupted him leveling up the skills, and you just seem like, what it doesn't even let me click so many things are popping up, I can't even click them all. And he like actually started getting frustrated. It was so funny, dude.
Yeah, dude. That was fucking great. My favorite part was he was like, I'm just gonna leave and go make me, like, he made like a drink or something. He's like, I'm just gonna leave and go make me some tea or something. I'll be back in like 10 minutes. I'll probably be level like whatever. And the game grinded him like 20 levels while he was like making tea or some shit.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my fucking god, dude. Built-in piloting service. Let's go.
Dude, I was dying at the voice acting in that game. Because it was like, it was supposed to be a girl, like some queen that was like, help. It's supposed to say something along the lines of like, help me fight this person and protect our king. But the girl's voice was clearly a dude that was just like trying to talk softly. So you just hear like a guy's voice like, help me fight this and save our king. And it was like, that's a dude. That's 100% a dude. And like the audio was like 50 times louder than the actual game, dude. It was so funny.
Dude,
yeah,
they only had 3 voice actors for the game, and they were all men, so they had to work with what they had.
Yeah. Oh, that shit was fucking funny. Anyway, Queso81 says, I swear, dude, I'm so tired of players acting like they know how to PvP by throwing out all these numbers and percentages with accuracy, and multipliers to make it look like they know what they're talking about. This is the main reason, as a ranger, that I hate talking in the ranger Discord. Learn to play your class. In parentheses, put Maywas. Get good. LOL. That's right, Maywas, you fucking noobs. Kenichi Sai says, I know, right? It's just people being lazy to find other ways to deal with classes' downsides when they can't kill with one skill anymore, like changing playstyles or getting different gear crystals or different combo, or in other cases, reroll off that class. Everyone who complains so much putting insults in their arguments are the lazy bums who only want to have all the pros and none of the cons when it comes to their class. Who probably think they're PvP gods when in reality they're not as good as they think they are. We live in a world, if it's not easy, it's not. If it's not spoon-fed, don't even bother, just blame it on everything else but yourself. It's pathetic and stupid. And then, honestly, if every class was perfect with all skills having protection that also deal massive damage, the game would be so fucking boring. You'd still hear people complain when they lose. No game is perfect, no class is perfect. Might as well not play any games at all if that's the mentality. I think if that's your mentality, you should try League. I think you'd enjoy it. You'd fit right in. Harry Boy 3000. Since Gamergate, more and more companies that produce AAA titles going down the path of go woke, get broke mentality, so gamers have been flocking to Eastern game developers since in majority they don't give a shit about diversity quotas. They give an option to change the tone of your character's skin, and the rest is focused on fun gameplay. TLDR, all that gamers want is tits, violence, or fun gameplay, and occasionally a good storyline. The end. You know, I was thinking about it. I can't remember if we talked about it on the last podcast, but do you know what it's like to play Western MMOs, like how it actually feels? Like the combat compared to Eastern MMOs? Just put on
how's it actually feel?
You could test it in BDO. Put on a fishing rod and run around with your character while the fishing rod is on. That's how Western MMOs feel. Seriously, like that's how it, and then throw the cast like on the ground, not in the water, and that's how like the skill animations feel and how you're locked in and everything. It literally is fucking Western MMOs. That's if you want to test out New World's combat, put on a fishing rod and throw the rod at the ground. That's New World's combat.
Yeah, animations. I think a lot of game devs, like not even just MMOs, just game devs in general. I think a lot of game devs don't realize how important animations are. Like animations really, like make the game. Honestly, like it really helps. I know it doesn't seem like it would affect that much, but it really fucking does. Having like very fluid and like flowing and moving animations and things like that. For like even small stuff, it's really important, I think, honestly. And I think a lot of devs kind of overlook it because they're just like, well, you know, we don't need to put like, you know, 5,000 frames into this one fucking animation for picking up a rock or some shit like that, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I was watching some. I guess Elion is in another open beta, and I was watching a lot of Koreans are playing it. That game, they don't do amazing with the animations, honestly, but it still looks like 50, and it's on Unreal Engine 3, which is like, how old is that fucking engine, right? And it still looks a million times better than New World's combat. It's fucking crazy to me. Alcana says, PS4 masochist here, coming back to play Alibaba after rage quitting for several months. Been checking the podcast for the weekly banter anyways. I know console is at the back of the food chain, but maybe a PS4/Xbox guest. PS, stop complaining about PC Siege scene. I can send you a clip on how our Node War sieges look like so you can punch a hole through your monitor.
I mean, your Siege, I'm assuming your Siege is just like a slideshow presentation, essentially.
I don't know why.
That's what I imagine in my head.
I don't know why console players even complain about Siege when their Siege ends during the fucking load screen. You don't even have to deal with PA because they don't get to that point.
Listen, I know we have a lot of people from console that watch the podcast. I'm going to be real with you guys. I do not understand how you play Black Desert Online on a console. Like, I'm just being legitimate. Like, after all the shit like that it goes on with console and all the shit that I've heard about it, I mean, I understand that you guys probably don't have PCs or don't have PCs that can run Black Desert, and so it's kind of just like, you know, the best that you can do or whatever. Or maybe you just prefer console. You like playing on a controller, but you can play. By the way, in case you don't know, you can play with a controller on PC. You can do that. So if you just like controller more than mouse and keyboard, you can do a controller on PC and not have 20 frames a second. But I just I wouldn't be able to do it. It's crazy to me. You guys are some seriously dedicated motherfuckers to be playing Black Desert Online on a console, man. Holy shit.
I actually met someone recently that I met someone on stream recently that started off on PC and switched to console, and they actually like it, even though it has bad frames. They said, "I know the frames are bad, but I don't know, just fits my playstyle." And I'm just like, "What is your playstyle? Loading screens? I don't even understand what the difference in playstyle is. Like, it's so weird to me."
Yeah, like the only thing I can think of is like they prefer controller, but again, you can use if you don't like playing with a mouse and keyboard, you can use a controller on PC.
Yeah, remember
Like,
the Flex Lead and Blade and Arrow used a controller. I forgot
yeah.
their name. That Kuno back in the Awakening
Didn't
days.
fucking who was somebody said that they grinded using a controller for a long time in hacks.
I don't know.
Was it Laserface? I don't
I
remember.
don't think so. He doesn't know how to hook up a controller. The Assassin says, or maybe, just maybe, Frosty, you'll run into a Hashashin that claps your cheeks and you get mad about grabs and complain that Hashashin only won because they had a grab. Ha 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 ha. The ha ha ha's were his, not mine. And then Hooded Hamster says, Frosty already gets clapped by every class under the sun, even though he's the most OP class in the game. And that's all of that is true.
Spitting straight facts, dude.
Look, I don't care about how good I am at BDO. I'm a league player now, so I'm going pro.
Yeah. He's gonna climb to Silver 5 once he gets placed in Iron 5. The journey begins after he's able to play ranked games in mid 2021.
Yeah. Kenichi Sai says New World's anti-griefing system is whack. Like, you gear drops for other players to pick up when you die as a red player. People are going to look for ways to abuse that so they can karma bomb to win. Also, if Tet Dawn doesn't work for Musa, get Pen Dawn instead, forehead. Or get Pen Dawn, forehead. Pretty sure Musas who complain are just upset they can't one-shot people with Crust Crushers, since that's probably the only reason they play the Moose in the first place. It is. No comment.
I have a question. Am I the only person that enjoys the Musa class and doesn't really like Crust Crusher that much? My favorite ability for Musa is Below the Belt. That skill is so satisfying. I don't like Crust Crusher that much. Lakshi in place, it's not like that huge of an AoE. The animation is kind of whatever. I'm not a huge fan. I like Below the Belt. Below the Belt is a way cooler ability in my opinion. That's the one that I like the most.
I
that
like
whole kit.
Stub Arrow.
No, you don't. Nobody likes Stub Arrow.
I like Grappling Arrow. Hooded Hamster replied, or maybe our class just does less damage than literally every other class, or maybe not. Kenichi Sai says, I don't know, man. I've seen tons of Moose in my region doing fine fragging in wars. I do, and many in the BDO community feel that these complaints are just because Mooses aren't as good as they think they are, and now they can't melt a group of people with one Crust Crusher, so they just whine and not explore other avenues to deal with it. Like how Suck Ninja was nerfed and everyone was upset, but I still see a lot of Suck Ninjas that completely decimates groups of people, even doing fine 1v1. Yeah, that notion, that's the thing I think that is rough, is people actually believe that Mooses do the least damage of anybody in the whole game. Poor Awakened Mystic, dude. Kenichi Sai says, New World's oh, no, that I already said that. Lulz Cap says, what happened to Mooses? They didn't act like this. Did witches, like, secretly re-roll to Mooses at some point?
It kind of seems that way, doesn't it, dude?
What happened to witches, dude?
The victim complex.
All the witches re-rolled to Suck Wizards, so you don't hear anyone complain about witch anymore.
Yeah, witches don't exist anymore. They're all just suck wizards. Yeah, I don't know. And what's funny is like I feel like witches now have a more justified reason than ever to complain because their succession is dog shit compared to wizard. So I feel like they have more of a reason to complain than ever, but instead of complaining, they just like, oh, fuck that, I'm gonna play wizard then.
Seriously.
Apparently, Suck Witch is OP for grinding, though. That's what I've been told.
It's very strong for grinding. I actually fought a Suck Witch the other day that was really good at PvP. Not a lot of them do PvP, but I'm now convinced after fighting this guy and talking to him a little bit that Suck Witch is way, like, significantly better for PvP than Awaken Witch. It just is a little bit harder to play, but the tools are there to like make it better. Travis,
I fought a Suck Witch in 1v1, and while I think I still ended up winning more fights than them, they weren't like complete blowouts. Like I didn't like crush them. I did have to like actually fucking try.
Right. Travis 7067 says pen on console or V on console. I read V as pen, dude. That's how I've been playing this game too long. V on console is 5 buttons. LOL. It's LTRT L1R1A. By the time you get done saying it, they're out of V and you're out of breath and dead. Sammy and Tina says all the Siege guilds except Snake do lots of open field fights in Siege. Just pointing that out when you said Siege guilds never open field fights, so we can't tell who's stronger than who. All right, so I'm trying to remember the last time Black Rose 1v1 Show Nation when neither of them were in a castle, because that's what I meant, and I'm pretty sure that's never happened.
Yeah, because I think Sammy and Tina is probably counting GVGs, but
yeah,
you
GVG
can't like GVGs really aren't like a fair way to compare like strength, right? Because not everybody's gonna fucking show to a GVG.
The reason why I said like Serendia or Balanos type fight where you don't have a castle or castle walls or any of that like defender's advantage that's massive and makes like it way difficult to tell the strength of a guild. I would love to see like let's say Corrupt or one of these smaller guilds is in a castle, and then Black Rose and Cho play some Medaya and 1v1 each other, and then the winner 1v1's the castle or something like that, you know. And that does not happen and will never happen, and it's partly because those guilds don't want to fight. I mean, maybe Cho does, because pretty sure Cho would probably beat everyone at this point, but it's not like Cho's always wanted to fight. It's like once you get to a point where like for sure you can win, then they want to fight. I'm not hating on Cho, but it's I don't know. All the guilds are the same, dude. They have a reputation to uphold. If Cho were to lose, I mean, Black Rose would have so much material. You know what I mean? Not that that fight can even happen since Black Rose is a T1 guild now, but you know what I mean. Also, a lot of people, wait, maybe this will get to it, or one of these other things. Alina Maria says, all these people complain about mooses hurt my brain with their capacity to reach so far beyond anything imaginable. Yep. Max Punch says, oh man, it's nice to know you're not playing the most toxic class anymore when you're on DK. Feels bad, mooses. Oh no, I feels bad, awakened mooses. I mean, feels bad, awakened mooses. Broken Striker says, Black Rose isn't getting spanked on Siege. Only one guild NA can beat Black Rose in Siege, and that's Cho. Cho is number 1 and number 2, as they fought themselves this weekend while Snake didn't show up. Yet won. The other guild that rivals BR is Snake, but doesn't show up, and in order for Black Rose to be able to go to a T1 node is because they held Medaya the week before. The 4-5 guild alliance was most wanted, which is a weaker guild, and Knoll is a stronger. I think this is on the T1, right? That you're talking about?
Yeah.
The 4-5 guild alliance was most wanted, which is a weaker guild. Knoll, which is a stronger guild, and it was on a 16 fort node. It was 3 versus 13. The next day, it was a 1v1 versus crawling. The next day, a 1v3. The next war was a 1v2 versus skirmish and coast. The next day was a 1v7, the next was a 1v7, the next was a 1v3. Outside a few random people talking shit in general chat, it appears BR is welcomed to T1 and guilds are happy to fight us. They give us some gave them some excitement. Black Rose lets guilds know which node they're going to. They no longer will play on T1 easy or no nodes that newer guilds build on. And you know what happens when they lose that 1v7? They say good fight and walk back to town because CTG is playing LOL. I think that means that Sasha's playing League of Legends during these node wars.
Probably.
Which I respect, dude. Also, if you can give me some lessons, Sasha, it'd be fantastic.
Dude, Sasha's probably toxic as fuck in League.
You think so?
Probably, dude. Have you heard him shot call? Imagine that, but now he's playing League.
I mean, back when I was in Black Rose, he was only toxic if you were doing something wrong. I don't know if that's changed now, but and it was mostly like we were all thinking it, you know? He just said it. Now he plays League, so he's probably even more toxic. That actually probably made him even more toxic. Talus Acceptum says, it finally makes sense now. Mooses have such low accuracy that their comments aren't even accurate. I understand now. Oh, man. Then Dancing Sword says, LOL, just curious though, is Warrior an accuracy dependent class? Question mark. So they have high accuracy modifiers, but you still, that doesn't mean you're guaranteed to kill people with high evasion. Just so you're aware. Yeah, you still need accuracy to some extent. Maybe you don't need as much. Maybe you don't have to run 2 Tet Dons like a Sork does, but eventually you'll get to your point where you're like, all right, I have a lot of AP, this person's still not dying, so you probably need accuracy. Whenever something has like a 20% accuracy rate on a skill, that does not mean you have a 100% hit rate. It just means your hit rate, your base hit rate's a little bit higher. So maybe you don't need as much accuracy, but you still need accuracy. Dancing Sword says Xbox Series X will be just as good as your PC. Not as my PC, but maybe Reslar's. That's fucked up, Dancing Swords. Andre says, I like how the Musa community complains that their class sucks, they can't do shit. But then you see Shaky Bay literally clapping people. Keck W, just get good forehead. Murder.
I have a question. I have a question for console people. Maybe you know the answer to this, Frosty. Are they fucking using SSDs yet?
A lot of them are, yeah. A lot of people swap.
That's good.
A lot of people swap their hard drives for SSDs on console because you can swap the hard drive.
Oh, like they're buying it and then swapping it themselves?
Yeah, they literally are swapping it themselves. I don't think any of the consoles come with an SSD. Maybe the newest Xbox, I'm not sure, but I like the Xbox, what is it, X or whatever?
I feel like loading times is one of the biggest issues with console, and you can cut down on that so fucking much by just using a goddamn SSD.
Yeah, I think Lol's Captain in chat plays on console. Do you know, I mean, I know he's saying yes, people do use SSDs, but do any of the consoles actually come with an SSD? Or they all come with hard drive disks, right? Don't you have to manually put in an SSD if you want one? Yeah, none of them. I'm Henny says none of them come with it. So yeah, they're all putting it in themselves. That sucks, dude. Murder is Kind says, you buy SSD from Amazon and plug it in, Guap says. Murdercon says, Siege is dog shit. Imagine playing a game where the big once-a-week giant war that should be a huge flex comes down to how big your alliance is. The PvP in this game is alright, but when it revolves entirely around objective-based gameplay, a fort in Siege, a skill that makes you almost immortal for 8 seconds that can be rotated on an already ranged class that hits stupid hard and CC, Meteor, it becomes horrible in my opinion. Farmland fights are infinitely more fun because of the chaotic politics, are way less scripted overall, generally less PA, and I don't know, people take it less seriously in general. Big Node War is better than pushing Castle Choke. For me, like, the most fun PvP in the game, outside of 1v1s, because I thoroughly enjoy 1v1s, but outside of 1v1, the most fun group PvP is when it's like 45 versus 45 and 2 guilds are relatively even in strength. It is so much fun. Like win or lose. I actually think that's super fun. even with PA, as shitty as PA is, and I wish it was gone, but even with it, it's still like, if your shot caller can back you away, then like the rest of your engagements are not with PA, you know? I don't know, but those engages are really fun, especially when there's like cannons. You have to split off and take care of the cannons and the flags and like all sorts of shit, but yeah, PA makes it awful. And the problem, like I was telling Reza earlier, it's just there's so many more guilds on T1, mostly, I think mostly because not having to get shit stomped by super strong guilds is a huge benefit to being on T1s. The incentive to fight on T1 if like silver and growth is your goal is just not there. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like if you want to siege one day, you're probably not on T1s unless you're just starting out. But T1s has a lot of really good fights, and there's a lot of forts. Like you saw that the Black Rose commenter earlier that said like all these, you know, there's 14 forts and 17 forts and 6 forts and 8 forts. Like on T2s, it's like there's 2 or 3, and that's it. And a lot of times it's a snipe or it's a 1v1 versus Cho Nation, and that doesn't go too well.
Let me propose something to you. I'm gonna trigger Tim Allen by offering a what if.
Okay.
Let's imagine for a second, because this seems almost like it's the case that Pearl Abyss doesn't want to change protected area, right? They refuse to change protected area for whatever reason, or remove it, or anything like that. Maybe because it's too much work, whatever. So I'm trying to think, like, what could you do, like, outside of the box to try and like help with that situation, and then would it be possible or viable or even make sense if you were to limit the amount of each class that can be in a guild? Like if you were like, let's say you come up with some sort of like designation, like you say this is the character that I show up to wars on, basically. And like you can only have like so many of that, like a class in like your node or guild, right?
Right.
Something like that. Some sort of like, would that even do anything? Is that even viable? Is that fair for like guilds?
I mean, it would be kind of helpful, except that it'd be really hard for people that want to switch classes and stuff. Like, if I'm in a guild with all my friends and we have 7 wizards and the limit on wizards is 7, what do? I have to leave my guild to play wizard?
Yeah.
That part of it kind of sucks. But I think, like, just at face value in a fight, like, that would be kind of interesting. What would the breakdown be? You can
I
only
don't
have
know,
2
'cause-
wizards and 2 wizards. It's just 4.
I don't know. I really don't know. I'm just trying to think, like, if they refuse to change protected area, like what can you do to make it less of a fucking blight on Siege? You know what I'm saying? If they refuse to change it, if they refuse to remove it, what the fuck do you even do at that point? I'm just not really sure. Maybe you can add, I don't know. I mean, I know I've said this before, but maybe some sort of fucking a removal of PA, like a skill that you can cast to counter it or something. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I still like the idea of, it would never ever happen, but I love the idea of the max amount of people you can have in a guild is 50 instead of 100. It would double the amount of
Dude,
guilds.
that'd be sick as fuck.
It would be so sick. It would double the amount of guilds on the server. There'd be way more people placing for nodes, way more people placing for siege. And because guilds exist now, yes, there would be alliances for a while. Like Cho would split into 2, and Cho 1 and Cho 2 are probably going to place on the same region together. But eventually, one of them is going to be like, I don't want to place on that region this time. You guys place on that region. I'm going to go over here. And eventually they're going to split and turn and get new members. And they'll turn on each other. So the first like month or 2 will be a bunch of alliances, maybe 3 or 4 months. But 7, 8 months down the road, it's going to be a lot more split and segregated and switched. So it's going to be like, I think that would be way, way more fun. Also, it'd be so much easier for smaller guilds to fill up their guild. 100 people is so many for a new guild. Like, I don't know. It's hard to get 100 people in your guild. It would also make, like, if your guild is full at 50, it makes it so much easier to be like, look, we're kicking you because you don't show up to wars. And we can only have 50 people, and there's a lot more people that'd be down to come here. So, I don't know. I think that would be so much fun. It would solve a lot of issues. PA would still be a problem, but not as much, because right now you have 50 wizards in which you'll only be able to have 25. You know.
No, it'd still be 50. They'd
It'd
have
still
the
be 50.
Cho Nation would have Cho Nation 1, which is entirely Witch and Wizard, and then Cho Nation 2, which is essentially just the flex team.
Yeah, with still 20 wizards and witches because they had 70.
Yeah, of course.
Joachim Bang says, can you just start deleting Kenshin's comments until he's learned how to write arguments that aren't filled with insults? He needs to look at some grown-ups discussing an issue and stop watching how the U.S. president does it. Oh, I like how we went political. I don't like the idea of just deleting comments, honestly, unless it's like really, really like super insulting with no information in there.
Yeah.
So,
basically, the thing, whenever we first talked about deleting comments like forever ago, whenever we deleted our first comment, which is still the only comment that I've ever deleted, by the way, basically what we decided was if the only reason they're commenting is to insult, then that needs to be deleted. But you know, we try to give people leeway if they're trying to make a point and then they just slap an insult onto the end of it because they're getting heated, right? That's what I said last week. Is I said I think you're not intending to insult. I think you're just getting heated in an argument. So trying to give a little more leeway. But that being said, there is a point where, you know, the point is irrelevant because you are just being a fucking dickhead. Right, and that's what I was trying to warn about last week. Is, you know, keep your shit under control. You know, you understand you're getting heated. You're talking about something you're very passionate about, but at the end of the day, we're trying to keep it civil. You know, if you're having a disagreement, you want to try and keep it civil. So,
yeah. True. I lost.
Is that it? Is that the last one?
No, I closed it by accident like a moron.
Oh my!
I thought all I did was alt tab, but I guess.
Okay, hold on. Let me find where.
Okay. I think we only had 2 more comments. So. Oh no, we have a few more. All right. Dad says, when you find out California is a real place and people live there on purpose, sad face. All right. Let's talk.
Dude, so true. Imagine choosing to live in California. Fucking yikes.
Laugh all you want, but we're not getting hit by a hurricane. Our weather is 73 degrees and sunny right now, okay?
Hey, I'm not getting hit by a hurricane right now. The fuck? That's the nice thing about Texas, boy. We big as fuck. We thick. Alright?
Draco AK says Xbox is better performance and graphics. I will never roll to PC. Console will outperform it one day. Bet money.
No.
One day, dude. Tim
literally,
says
console can literally never outperform PC because console just uses PC parts from last year. So it literally can never happen.
Yeah.
Like a console, a console is just a computer that is mass fucking produced by these corporations. So, yeah, it's literally just not ever going to be possible, but okay.
Yeah. Nathaniel chat says, since the skill is called protected area, why not make it a stationary area, and if you leave the area, you lose the buff? That's what I always felt like would be a good idea, especially because, like, if you're in a 1v1 and someone's coming to your thing, you can engage them early and force them to use PAs. Because the point where it'd be really strong is when they're using it on top of your base, right? Like, it's still going to be as oppressive on top of your base. But at least you'd have the option to force them to use it before then and then back out or something, you know? There'd be some, like, outplay potential there. But, yeah, just it being a buff on your buff bar is not my favorite thing. It's bad. Or also, if you get CC'd, you lose it. Make it lose the buff. That would be nice.
Honest to God, I would rather them first make resistances not a thing when you're on the ground. Because, yeah, you're on the ground. How are you resisting? What do you mean?
I did.
Like, ugh.
Tim says, Frosty RNG carried as always with Pen Ogre, even if it was from the marketplace. That's true. I did get RNG carried on that because it was sitting on buy, you know? I thought I was going to have to wait a really long time once I had the money, but no, I got lucky. Danny...
Someone came in my stream one day and said that at one point when you were grinding up the money, you got like 3 distos in 1 hour at one point. Is that true?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's happened to me a couple times.
You're disgusting.
I mean, that's going to happen, though, when you grind fucking 5 hours a day at Star's End. Eventually, you're going to have a crazy hour. That's not my best hour. My best hour is I had 1 hour where I got a pry distortion and 2 distortions base in 1 hour.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that shit was fat, dude. Fat money. I've been gambling a lot, dude, and it's not going well. I've been trying to live that D-field life, and it's not working, dude.
Wait, I thought you were saving up for Caphras.
Well, I am. I'm slow saving for Caphras. I finished my Kudum. Now I just need to get my Zarka and my Dandy up 1 level. Or, well, 1 AP, so 2 levels each. But I've been mixing in some gambling in there. It's like half worked and half not worked. I don't know. It sucks because I started getting greedy. I started actually hitting duos and tries. And because I got greedy, I started going for Tets and they failed. So in the last week, I failed 3 Tet Tungred rings. Which hurts. Because literally, if I just sold those, it's like 9 billion silver. Fuck. Danny R. Tiles says, love the podcast. You guys should try to get some influential KR players on the show and see what the difference of opinions are and what needs to change in BDO. Dude, I agree, and I have somebody in mind, and I'm going to try to get them. My thing is, like, we not only are we a blip in NAEU, we're literally non-existent in Korea as a podcast. So trying to tell someone that has no idea who we are, like, hey, you should come on our show, is going to be really tough. So I'm going to try my best. I have someone in mind that I think would be really good for it. That is like through and through, like he's a Korean player that's lived in Korea forever, lives in Korea, plays on Korea, speaks Korean, and also speaks English. And I just met him recently, and I'm going to try to get him on the show, so we'll see. But no promises, because, you know, that's...
We're bad at those.
Yeah. It's hard to get even English speakers on the show, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, you guys don't even know how many times we've asked someone to come on the show, and they're just like, "No, I'm good." Like,
no, they're like, "Wait, which podcast? Oh, that one? Nah, I'm busy." Yeah, that's all right. It's fine. We don't take it personally. Murderkind says, also, sorry for the second comment. Myself and a few friends talk about evasion all the time. Honestly, you're at that point. It seems so broken. Oh, and honestly, until you're at that point, it seems so broken. I've recently rolled to evasion and finishing up my boots to C9 and heave to C19. Rocking a Penfire Ikudum, special evasion chest, and the rest of my crystals are typical evasion ones. One of my good friends is an Awakened Musa, also using an evasion build with Libers. He actually shreds me when a CC lands, I'm dead. CC plus foul play actually takes like 70% of my health. I'm playing Guardian, so I lack a bit of evasion compared to Frosty, but I highly doubt properly executed combo would not kill him. Fun fact, I actually suffer damage while I was trying to kill high evasion targets because I don't have a lot of accuracy. I prioritized AP with distortion to grind faster. After full pen armor C9, I'll get a Dawn for small scale build slash build flexibility for 1v1s. You can't get mad say Moose is bad when you rock Libers and Distos with a bunch of AP while having shit accuracy and expect to kill people who have invested a shitload into their evasion with your AP monkey build. Dedicating resources to accuracy to completely shit on evasion players sounds like a fair trade to me. Sorry for the long ass comments, but it kind of tilted me. Not gonna lie. I mean, what he's saying is these are all facts. Now they're hard to accept facts for some classes, but they are facts. I don't think it's completely unreasonable. I guess that's the philosophical question here. Is it unreasonable? Like if I'm a player, forget the class, but if I'm a player and I build up to like 301 AP, and then I run into someone that I can't kill, because 301 AP is not easy to get to, right? Like we all agree, 301 AP, that's a lot of AP. Is it fair that if they run evasion that my 301 AP can't kill them and that I have to get an accuracy accessory to kill them?
Yes.
Okay. It seems fair. It seems fair to me.
Like, people need to understand that the stats, combat damage, I'm trying to find the words, damage calculation in BDO is literally like rock, paper, scissors. Like, it's literally that fucking simple. And so if you put all of your shit into fucking rock, then guess what? One day paper's gonna come around and you're fucked. And don't complain about rock balance when they have paper. Because you didn't go any fucking scissors. Like, you have to, there's a reason that people say, like, there's a minimum amount of accuracy you need to get, but as you gear up, you want to get more accuracy because people are building more evasion right now. It's because you're trying to find, like, a balance. And in this evasion right now, it's a paper meta, like, right now, right? So why the fuck are you building rock? Like, you need scissors. It's literally that simple.
Yeah. So two things. One, Devac says, I mean, I don't know. I think it's not quite as simple as rock, paper, scissors, just because in rock, paper, scissors, paper will never, ever counter scissors. Whereas, like, you can build accuracy while still having high AP to counter scissors. You know what I mean? But yeah. Devac says, I mean, at that point, you could just play DK and still kill them with your 301 AP. That's true. And then Invendentia says, I think some of the problems with people have with evasion is that it is only possible for some classes to build evasion while it just doesn't work for other classes. Sure. But that's still, like, not quite always true, right? Like, Zerker, like, Choice built evasion, and everyone said forever you can't build evasion on Zerker. I fought Divios, who was evasion.
What's that going on in the background of your shit?
Oh, hold on one sec.
What the hell is that?
Sorry. Okay, so Choice built evasion.
I don't know what that was.
Whoops. Choice built. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know either. My girlfriend's doing something. Choice built evasion, and he seems relatively tanky. Zethian built evasion. He seems relatively tanky, and everyone told me both those classes can't do it. Divios, for a while, was running around on a Guardian who built evasion, and I'm told that class also can't do it, and, well, they seem to do it.
So TLDR, you can build evasion on non-evasion spec classes.
And
you just have to be 750 gear score.
I've also run into Mooses that do it. I've also run into whatever. It's fine. And in the disparity between them has definitely been minimized, especially when they nerfed the evasion buffs on all the classes. And also, a lot of people forget a lot of the evasion on, like, ninjas and kunos are melee only, so they don't even affect the magic classes. Melee evasion does not affect when you're being hit by a magic damage class. So,
but
yeah.
I think the issue that people have in, like, with what Invendentia was saying, though, is that it's so much more effective at a lower, like, if you're like 300, if you're 309 DP, like, evasion build on a Sork, that is way more for you than 309 DP DR on a warrior. Like, I think that's
309 evasion. No, wait, what? No, 309 DP evasion build is nothing. That does not even stop a normal Tet person from doing any damage to you. They literally just destroy you. You need.
Hard disagree. I mean,
you're telling me a Sork with 309 DP that's running Tet levers, you would have a harder time killing them at 309 DP.
If you have a relative amount of AP, so like 260 something, yeah.
Well, like what? Like 260 what?
Like 261, 265.
Okay,
like
are you wearing Vipers and, like, a Zarka? 309 evasion is you are way less tanky at 309 with an evasion build than you are at 309 with the DR build. Like, just straight up. The evasion does nothing. Okay. You have to get so high on evasion. I mean, I get what Invendentia is saying, and he made the joke, like, I guess I just have to get Zethian gear. So did we all. Even on Ninja and Kuno, like, if you're just 331 with evasion, you're not tanky. Like, you're really not. You have to get such a high amount of evasion for it to work, especially now that they nerfed Smokescreen. Like, That's what, like, this misconception that like a ninja could just throw on some levers and suddenly they're a tanky god is just not true. Like the people now, maybe a lot of people run into ninjas and kunos that throw on like the evasion offhand, but in that case, then they're like, if you actually have DP, like they're not going to do that much damage to you. If they're like a low geared ninja or kuno with an evasion offhand that lets you go like in your full DR, whatever, and you have like similar amount of DP, but their AP is like tanked hard when they put that evasion offhand on. So I don't know. Yeah, the people with like Zethian's gear and even like my gear, like dude, most people can kill me. I mean, it's rare I run into someone that can't actually kill me unless they're like sub 270 AP. But like I have 363 DP, so of course someone sub 270 is gonna have a harder time killing me. But everyone that's like my AP can kill me just fine. And if I was like, and I'm on a Kuno, which is supposed to be super, super tanky, according to the people that hate evasion. So I don't know. I just think it seems easier to build than other people. Yeah, evasion classes only really allow you to go evasion earlier. Like, yeah, kinda. Like a little, like the evasion becomes more effective sooner, but it's still not like 309 soon. You got to be like you got to still hit that last bracket, or it's basically trash. I mean, I know it because I tested it the whole way up because I was 350 DP with DR, and I switched to evasion, and I was fucking squishy as shit all the way until I got back up to like 350, and then I started feeling tanky. And then they nerfed the smokescreen thing, so I got to 363, and now I don't feel tanky anymore. So I don't know. It's kind of weird. Plus succession just does more damage. So yeah. I still think the biggest problem with evasion, honestly, is that the green offhands even exist in the game. I just wish they would get removed. Like a lot.
Or just like I don't know, not be as good, like not offer a similar amount of stats as like a boss weapon, but like just different stats, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I kind of hate the idea of any of it. Like, I don't like heave either. I really hate that heave is viable when boss gear exists. I think it's so stupid. I look at my wheel, and every time I have to look up the heave, I'm just sad. I have a pen ogre and a green helmet. It is so dumb. To be fair, it's not that big of a handicap on Suck Ninja because they shred hard. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what kind of ninjas gear you guys are fighting. Ninjas with low AP like don't do that much damage anymore. Like after the nerfs to succession, yeah, I don't know. Especially now with the HP pool that everyone has. I guess like
perfect.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. The perspective of everyone is so different because everyone's gear is at such different levels. So it's hard for me to gauge, like, or understand what you guys experience at whatever gear score you're at and the people you're fighting. So it's hard to say. I just know from my experience of like going from point A to point B with the DR build to the evasion build and fighting a lot of people that I know have evasion and the ones I know have DR. It dawned on me once I like started getting really geared, like how not different they actually are post the evasion nerfs to smokescreen and Striker Mystics evasion stuff and all that stuff that happened over time. Plus, since then they have added Elcar crystals and Kaffir stones give you accuracy, and people actually like now will put Kaffir stones in their offhand to get that 4 accuracy. Distortion's added accuracy. They'll also put Kaffir stones in their dandy to level 2 to get an additional 3 accuracy. Like all sorts of like little things that help like chip away at evasion builds. Plus a lot more people run Dawns now and Pen RCs.
You know what I would kind of like to see? I'd like to see more evasion from like journal rewards, like, or not evasion, accuracy. Like
I was gonna say, wait, you want more evasion?
No. I mean accuracy. Like more accuracy from like journal reward, because like journals would be perfect, right? If you want to add like small incremental amounts of stats like HP or DR, not DP, but DR. Small things like that. Like that's like the perfect place to add it. I feel like if you were gonna if you want to come out with this journal anyway, and you need to fill, it's a 10 chapter journal, and because chapter 10 and chapter 5 have huge rewards, and you're like, shit, what do we put for all the other shit? Accuracy, just more accuracy across the board. Why not?
Yeah, and Vindention says, well, to be fair, Rez's argument, it was a Sork, so you don't even need DP in the first place because iframes.
That is true. You're not wrong.
They do
also,
feel they actually do like the literal definition of evasion.
Yeah. I got my second Chimera pupil gem, and I am at a crisp 265 AP with 2 Chimera gems. We out here.
Damn, dude. I wish I knew what that meant. Oh, that's the down attack damage. Or
down
whatever?
Attack, yeah. So I have 265 AP, which is perfect. What a fucking bracket to hit. Am I right? And then 20% down attack extra damage.
Yeah.
So
you're
pretty lit.
You're just a god, dude.
Dude, full bloom.
God.
What can I say?
Mm-hmm.
Full bloom goes.
No, don't do it. Okay. And on that note, before we fall into the trap of using the same meme as everybody else, that is the podcast. You want to give the show a rundown? Our goodbyes.
Yeah. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks everybody for hanging out. I know this podcast was all over the place. Kind of intentional because again there just wasn't a lot really to go over today. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this more kind of bullshit version of the podcast. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for hanging out in the stream. Everybody who is hanging out in chat and talking to us in chat. It feels bad for Nyashi. Had to work, couldn't be here today. That's what feels bad for him. You can check out our streams. Nyashi's is Nyashi_NA. Frosty's is So Frosty. Mine is Not Reslar. Check out our streams at those locations, twitch.tv/obviously. Check out the Patreon. Patreon is where you can support us if you want to help keep this show a moving, a running, all that stuff. Appreciate all of our patrons. Recently lowered the tier to have your name said on the podcast. So if you want a shout out, then you can do that. $10 a month. What else is there? I think that's everything. Join the Discord. Community nights occasionally. We'll probably be looking at setting up another NA community night sometime here soon. Maybe 2 weeks from now. I don't know. We'll kind of see. Probably about time that we do another one. So join the Discord so you can get information on that. That's the only place that you can get information on the podcast. If it's delayed, canceled, etc., whatever. And yeah, I think that's basically everything. Thank you so much for watching / listening. Hope you enjoyed, and we will catch you all next week.